Ladies and gentlemen, we got you covered on anything Minnesota sports merch. All you got to do is go to 10ktakes.com, click on the shop tab. There we're going to have all the merch for all your favorite teams, including the Minnesota Vikings, who just had their first W of the season, the Minnesota Twins, who also picked up their first playoff W in 16 years, and I think next week or the week after, we're going to be dropping our Minnesota Wild merch. This Friday.
2 days.
We're going to be dropping our Minnesota Wild merch, and I want to tell everyone this is going to be some of the best stuff we've dropped. So, once again, go to 10ktakesmn.com, go to the shop tab. We're going to have merch for all of your needs, and not only Minnesota sports merch, we have general 10K merch as well. So, once again, 10ktakesmn.com, go to the shop tab, support us today. Thanks a lot.
On this episode of It's a Bit, we're finally recording in our new studio in St. Paul. We'll talk a little bit about that, but we're joined by a good friend, Dean Blandino. He's a rules analyst for the NCAA and NFL on Fox. If you ever watch any NFL or NCAA games on Fox, you see Dino breaking down all the calls. We're also recording this right after the Twins have won their first playoff game since 2004, a huge moment here in Minnesota. We're going to talk about the Gophers' win on homecoming, Jake being a fake fan, Wild preseason in full effect, and finally the Vikings getting their first win of the season as well. And we're going to do our bits of the week as always and end the show by playing Wags' game 15 questions. So all of that and more on It's a Bit.
To the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Never stand still, that's the motto. Yeah, brand new bands for the auto. Oh, foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Damn, y'all talk lots, never this quiet. Life like a Seinfeld plot. Vault full of songs, all of them bombs. Something like a minefield guy. Boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never get it out big.
Welcome back to another episode of It's a Bit presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman. I'm getting my ass currently handed to me by allergies, if that's why it sounds like I have a ton of shit up my nose. I'm joined by producer Cam, Wags, journalist Jake. We're actually in our new St. Paul studio. We're right downtown, Lower Town.
Yeah.
Right by CHS Field.
Literally, you can see the field from our fucking office. This is amazing.
Yeah, left field's right there. So if we ever put Buxton back down there, we can see him hit some bombs out there.
There we go.
Or see, who was it?
Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo was hitting I-94 from
Hit him to the fucking
fuck
river.
You probably hit it here.
Yeah.
I do have one question for you guys. How's the back of my head look? This is a
Yeah,
really weird
so
setup.
I see it most nights, so it looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Marlo
thanks,
built a kick-ass table, podcast table. These things, by the way, if you were to buy these from like a website that like makes them, they're usually about $3-4 grand. Marlo and his father-in-law built this for like $200, and then Cam is behind the camera at the producer table switching the scenes. So we still got some things to figure out, but this place is sweet. You guys will see it in some of our clips and some content, but we'll make sure once we decorate it and everything to do a little full welcome to my crib.
Yeah, we do post every episode on YouTube as well, like full video version. So if you're not aware of that, go and you can see our studio right now. Just like Jack said, it's not fully decked out, but it's getting there.
You can see a TV right behind you.
You can.
The one thing that does suck about this setup, though, is that you can see everything I'm doing on my laptop, so that means I can't watch porn anymore
you
during
can't.
the podcast.
That's
It's actually a
shit.
fucking tragedy,
Sucks.
really.
Yeah. And journalist Jake is back for his first time in 2 weeks.
Boo.
Jake, tell everyone what you were doing. Before you tell everyone what you were doing, I just got to preface that any time anyone asked about an update on you, we used a famous line from Borat that you had been, quote-unquote, violated and mauled by a bear.
That might be very much true, actually. Why not? I was violated and mauled by a bear.
His name was Derek.
Well, I was on 2 weeks ago, but just for the Zucker interview. But for the last week, I was up in the Great Boundary Waters on my own ayahuasca retreat. It was right after the Vikings lost a disappointing game to the Chargers, so I went off the grid, and I thought about never coming back, but unfortunately I have to come back. And, it was fantastic. It was we probably canoed well over and portaged. Between portaging and canoeing, we 25 miles total.
Well, congratulations, buddy.
The word.
So it was a lot.
The only thing I laughed at, I think it's really cool. I'm
No,
not laughing at your trip. I laugh at the word portage as a verb.
Yes.
Portage?
I picture like a Boy Scout bending over and like picking up his nuts off, picking up like foraging for food and
Yeah.
like.
I picture
like,
you
wish
like,
it was that
picking
easy.
berries.
You're
And
like, yeah, we got to go portage over there.
Yeah.
But on the way, we're going to
No.
stop at the Oregon Trail and eat some porridge.
I've never heard that verb ever my whole
Yeah,
life.
portage. Portage. It's
what
a very
is it? What
popular
is it?
thing.
What does it actually mean? Like.
So there's a bunch of lakes in the Boundary Waters. There's like these little tiny trails that are kind of barely maintained by the Boundary Waters up there, where it's how you go from one lake to the next. there's no channels really between lakes, so you have to pick up your pack and carry a canoe like half a mile to the next lake.
Like
And we did it 3 or
Jack
4
Sparrow,
times.
that shit underwater. Yeah.
I had a 60-pound. We all had at least 50 or 60-pound packs and had to carry like a 50-pound canoe and walk a half mile. And I got to tell you, the first day I thought I was going to die. But then the last day I'm like, okay, I feel a little better. But then even throughout like the weekend, throughout the week, we wanted a portage to other lakes. But we didn't have our packs, so it made it a little lighter, but still had to carry canoes. But it's essentially carrying your canoes through these little maintained trails to the next lake you want to get to.
Did it help get you like are you coming back refreshed? Do you feel refreshed right now, or do you feel like you just did a bunch of work and now have to do your real life?
I felt refreshed until Monday morning hit. I really should have took a day off, honestly. But after, I felt it was nice not having, because there's no service up there. Like, you can't really look at your phone unless you want to take some pictures, which I did. But I felt a little refreshed. I felt like Aaron Rodgers after a retreat, except I did not.
Gobert too.
And Rudy Gobert. But I did not like tear an Achilles or anything like that yet. But it might happen. But it felt nice. It was a different way of camping. You're literally in the wilderness. There was a lake. We weren't on this lake. It was a lake near us where 2 campers we found out had to get driven out. Like, they left their campsites because they were driven out by bears.
Damn. So you could have actually have gotten violated and mauled by a bear.
We have to tie our food up in trees or else bears. Like, we saw bear shit like within 100 yards of
You
our
have to
campsite.
tie up your food
in trees. That's a legit thing. They recommend that to you.
I'm sorry, this doesn't sound fun at all.
It's
I'm
very rewarding.
too much of a concrete jungle child.
It's very rewarding because, like, you bring out all your stuff. You literally set up a camp from scratch. They do have designated camp spots up there, but you set it up all from scratch, set up your tents, do all that stuff, keep foraging for wood. And
I still just think of a Boy Scout picking nuts off a tree.
Well, foraging, yes,
picking
is
berries.
the right word. Yes.
So, Jake, now that you've done it, you're kind of like an expert. I feel like maybe one day, maybe next summer, 10K should do this, make a video of the whole experience.
I was saying,
we're gonna need
videoing
sponsor
this
for that. I'm gonna need to get paid to do that.
You need all the equipment. We're trying to make this an annual trip. So
I know people who've gone up there and literally will come back and say it's one of the best trips they've ever taken.
It literally was. It was absolutely beautiful.
Is it better than 10K goes to Vegas?
I mean, that's different.
It's in a different league.
But I will say, like, just being in the middle of like this lake that's like there's nothing around. It's not like a lake when you go up to a cabin and there's a bunch of pretty mansions around it and stuff. It's literally just trees and up there.
Yeah.
It's literally just wilderness, and then our campsite, and it's just yellow, red, green. The trees are all like beautiful colors, and you're canoeing everywhere, and you're living off the land. It's like the 1850s.
Jack, best sleep of your life last week?
When
Jake was gone? Because my IKEA bed felt like a fucking sleep number. It was great because I didn't have to hear singing at 3 a.m.
And the chandelier wasn't on.
Because I sing very loudly at 3 a.m. every week.
Every day?
I have a concert. Well, yeah, I do during the day for sure.
See, Jake, I doubt you've listened to the last 2 episodes since you've been gone, but I feel like Cam's been taking.
Oh, it's great.
Quite. I think
I'm sure
we've all taken a few shots, but I think Cam has definitely been enjoying your time not on the podcast.
This is payback for when you ripped me to shreds for the Demolition Derby meeting.
We all did that, though, Cameron.
Yeah, but it's mostly
Rightfully so, yes.
That was funny. I forgot about that.
Demolition Derby meeting. Where is that at? Some conference room? No, we're going to a bar, so you're just meeting up at a bar.
It is so funny to hear that. We had such polar opposite weekends, right? You were one with nature. You were enjoying God's beautiful earth that he built and, poraging and foraging and coraging and whatever else and kayak or canoeing while, burning probably a lot of calories while Wags, Cam, and I think may have consumed 7,000 calories on Saturday because we tailgated. We went to Mike Brown's tailgate lot. He had a ton of food. We drank a ton there. We went to the game. We ate a ton of food there. Then we went to Surly and we were drinking beers. Like, might as well get pizza. Went to the Wild game. Wild Bites hooked us up with a ton of the peanut butter and jelly wings.
Jake, we got like a pretty Wild Bites helped cover some of our tab at the Wild game. So it was we had quite the experience last Saturday. In fact, I want to say I haven't gotten that drunk. I want to say in 6 to 8
But it was like a long day drunk. It was like I was drunk from 7 in the morning to.
Yes, I got to the Tenka house like 7:15.
We went to New Bohemia after, and it was a bad idea.
We almost closed it down.
Yeah, it was
karaoke.
It was the most hungover on Sunday I think I've actually ever been. I fell asleep during the Vikings game. because I'm a hashtag
Yeah,
fake
we'll,
fan.
we'll talk about that.
yeah,
Well,
but
Cam, that was
just a foreshadow.
that was the drunkest I've ever seen you besides the 2-year party.
Oh,
Yeah,
was he
God.
touching people?
No.
No, but
Oh,
he was.
I
definitely-
If I was there, you would have. And that's okay.
He was pretty drunk in Buffalo. He went mute after the Vikings
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
game.
Oh,
I,
did
was,
he go
I didn't
mute?
see that. Though.
But no, he didn't go mute on
Okay.
Saturday. But really quick, before we talk about anything Minnesota sports related, boys, the Minnesota Twins have won a playoff game since 2004. 18 games in a row. The streak has been broken. We were all early elementary schoolers. We were all very young children. And now we are fully grown adults.
I wasn't even in I was like barely preschool.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
yeah, and then all of us were under, third or second grade. I
We
think.
didn't even probably know what sex was at the time.
Oh, I knew what
Oh.
sex was.
The
Maybe
only
so.
experience
Oh,
we
I
had
did.
was our parents doing it to create us like 4 years prior. That's
Yeah,
the only-
literally.
You remember that?
Within a decade.
No, I don't.
Oh.
But I'm glad I won the race.
I remember
Sperm
being
race.
inside the womb.
Yeah. But no, seriously, like, so we're recording this Tuesday night, literally right after the game. It was just, it felt like we were going to blow it a few times there. We somehow always got out of it. Michael A. Taylor was the guy in the outfield. Royce Lewis, obviously,
All of
put
our
up
offense.
all of the runs. I mean,
Well,
it wasn't the prettiest game, but we got it done.
it was so refreshing to see the energy of the guys. Like, I haven't seen us have that energy in the playoffs in forever.
And how cool was it too to see Target Field bumping? I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever. Have you guys ever seen Target Field bumping?
Other
No.
than, I will say, the two other times I can think about it like that were when we clinched. It was pretty
Mhm.
awesome. And then when Correa hit the walk-off against the Brewers
Okay, yeah.
earlier in the year, only because Brewers fans are fucking
So
annoying.
that's what made
and
it
we wanted to
packed,
be.
yeah.
But other than that, no. I mean,
Yeah.
that was like you had the home run hankies. It was
The biggest
fucking
thing
electric.
was our guys made plays. Like, our guys that are supposed to make plays made plays. Like, Royce Lewis has been hot with the bat all year. Hits 2 bombs as our whole offense. Michael A. Taylor was shut down or locked down in center field. Correa made a play because if you ever put fucking Jorge Polanco at third base again, I'm going to burn Target
Yes.
that
Field
was
down.
so bad.
So when that
The
first
Correa
play,
play that he made in Polanco's fuck up was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, we were just all over the place.
Yeah,
but fire
and
Polanco into the sun.
Pitching was
Dude.
incredible. Pablo Lopez, true ace. I think we
Yeah.
can finally say the Arise trade was worth it because without Lopez today, I don't know what the score would have been.
I'm not going to say I told you so, but I did tell you so.
You didn't tell us so.
Not
we
you
knew
guys.
it.
You guys were on board.
We
but
were
I'm,
on board,
I'm talking
but-
to 10K bets.
But I mean, yeah, Lopez was great. Jax was great. I think we had our boy Louis
Duran.
Varland.
Oh yeah, he did pitch.
Yeah,
he got Guerrero out. So.
He got it was Chapman because
Chapman,
Michael A.
you're
Taylor
right,
like
thank you.
damn near. He didn't actually rob it because it would have hit the wall, but he damn near robbed a 3-run bomb that would have changed the game drastically.
Dude,
And-
and in classic Twins fashion too, the closer comes in, he gets
Full-
2 quick
full
outs,
count.
and then he walks someone, and right there we're all sitting there thinking, you know
Tying
what?
runs on base.
They're about to fucking
And it's-
blow this game.
It really sucked too because it was Whit Merrifield at bat who literally swings a rigatoni noodle for a bat, and next up after him was like it was Kiermaier or Chapman or someone who fucking is a great player.
Which,
you gotta
Kier-
get that guy.
Kiermaier kind of looks like Jake.
Yeah, actually, Jack and I were watching a Twins Blue Jays game earlier this year, and we both said that
You should search it, Jake.
Jake looks like Kiermaier and Matt Wallner.
Search
combined.
Yeah.
Or-
Well, yes,
okay.
And Kirk Cousins.
And
Kirk
Matt
Cousins.
Tolbert.
You're everyone. Actually.
You're everyone.
There was a kid that was adamant in junior high. You probably remember him. Like, he was in, like, our math class or whatever. 8th grade. He was like, you look like Matt Tolbert.
Oh my God!
He
I
was
could
adamant.
I could totally see it.
Doesn't
Is
he
that Matt
look
Tolbert?
just no?
He
This
looks
is
like Wyndham
Kevin
Clark. He looks like
Kiermaier or
Kirk
whatever.
Cousins
No, you know who he looks
and Wyndham
like.
Clark combined.
You know who he looks like? He looks like Rocco Baldelli.
Yeah.
He kind of does, but you
And
can
Kirk
he
Cousins.
looks like Jake.
He looks
kinda,
like-
He
doesn't
does look like Jake. I
To
guess
me, he looks a lot
it's
like
just like
Kirk
the typical
Cousins.
blue
Yeah, so do
eyes,
you.
brown
Well-
beard, like.
But
Look
like a
up,
more
look up Matt Wallner
defined.
though. Like look, especially Jake at the camera angle that I see him now. He looks like fucking Matt,
Matt
Wallner,
Wallner, UND really fucked
who
that
also
one up.
kind of looks like.
Is he a
Kirk.
Forest Lake guy?
Yes.
Isn't that
Yeah,
the
and
Wallner?
he committed to University of North Dakota. Yeah, he does look like you too. Well, not in that photo. This photo, he definitely does. I think it's just once again, it's the haircut and the beard.
And it's
Yeah,
the
it's
jawline.
Pretty
If
standard.
I shaved, I just
Minnesota
look like
look.
every 2-year-old.
Yeah, but yeah, no, awesome game. It's great. We'll be in attendance at Game 2 today when the podcast comes out. So if you're listening to this after and we've blown the 1-0 lead by then, just know this was recorded Tuesday night. I'm covering our bases. I am knocking on
Yeah,
wood.
so
though.
don't bitch at us. You guys, they lost. What are you talking about?
Okay, you're listening to this in April of 2024.
I know.
Like, shut
Jackass.
the fuck up. But oh my God, it was It was a great game. I mean, obviously, it'd be nice to put up some more insurance runs to not have the tying run on base in the ninth. But, a Minnesota team can't just blow out a team in the playoffs. That doesn't happen.
It just sucked. Our deductible was too high. We couldn't afford it.
So some
That was a
funny
horrible
funny stats, yeah. Some funny stats. So we do own the longest losing streak record. That doesn't just go away because we won. We still have it at 18, 2004 to now 2023. In second place is the Chicago Blackhawks. They lost 16 straight between 75 and 79.
Well, and think about that, too. That's 4 straight years of going to the playoffs and getting swept.
And they also have 7-game series in the
NHL.
first round.
Yep.
So that's bad. I mean, the Twins, at least, like, if we lose 2, we're done.
Yes, exactly. Or even, remember the playing games? Did that count as a playoff game or no? Does that count in the streak?
I don't think so.
It didn't? Okay.
I don't think so. The Pistons, 2008 to present, they've lost 14 straight. And the LA Kings from 93 to 01, 14 straight, which I think was right after they got Gretzky or right after he left and went to.
That sounds right, because he retired with New York in '99, and then he played.
That's right. He played for the Blues, and then
the Blues a year before, and I think so. Yeah, around the time he joined the Kings. You're right.
Yeah. So It's
so
awesome.
it sounds like the only way that the streak gets broken is if the Pistons keep losing in the playoffs,
Which
right?
they're a pretty depressing sports market right now between the Tigers, who are actually getting better, the Pistons, the fucking Lions, who are good, but
Shut up, man.
Yeah, they're gonna do it eventually. They're gonna blow it.
Dude, and I know we haven't talked about the Vikings yet, okay? But the Vikings haven't even played a single division game. I mean, they could theoretically could beat Detroit twice. They could easily shoot up to first in the division, right? So.
Easily, and then hopefully beat the Bears twice.
That's what I'm hoping Detroit does what Detroit always does, and Detroit's because we played them 2 of our final 3 games of the regular season, right?
Yeah. Last thing about the Twins. Here's the theory I have on why Toronto didn't look so hot today. They just clinched 2 days ago, and they were doing champagne and beers and the goggles in the locker room. A lot of those baseball players are, in their 30s? Some of them maybe early 40s, late 20s.
So you're thinking they still felt it?
2-day hangovers, man. We feel those all the time,
We do.
especially as athletes. Those guys don't drink a lot. They're usually out there grinding, battling, working out, eating healthy.
No, I'm 27, and we had quite the day on Saturday, like we talked about already.
I might
and
still be hungover.
Yesterday, I was at the Tenka house, and I was still fucked up. I felt like.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the Blue Jays might have been hungover in that game, which we'll take anything we can get. 2-day hangovers for older human beings who aren't in college anymore who are athletes. That's a possibility. But my final thoughts on it, Cam, I like the way you put it, was our guys made plays. If you compare that to the Houston series like 2 years ago, that was a total fucking joke. Like no one tried to play baseball. You should have kept a baseball outside a target field, like within miles from it. That's how bad we were.
Literally, the only thing that was the same between this game and the Houston series is that Polanco sucks at defense.
I know,
Well, see,
dude.
and that he still had a huge hammer.
Did
in.
any of you guys feel like me, where the very first fucking hit they have goes right to Polanco, he makes an error, and I was like, oh, this is the Minnesota Twins. We're gonna get blown out.
I literally
right now.
said, "Wow, it has begun."
Yes, it has begun.
I was watching the game while taking a shit at work because
Nice.
I strategically planned it like that for first pitch. That way I could watch the start of the game, and I was upset.
Wait, are you saying this year?
Yeah,
Okay.
today.
Okay.
I did that.
Yeah.
Aw.
When Polanco, he made an error right
Was it
away.
a good
the
shit?
first fucking batter. And
How
it was
did
a
it
great
go?
shit. It wasn't messy. It was a good one.
Hey, we spend like we get paid like 20% of our salary is like spent on the toilet or
Yeah.
something, on a
Boss makes
shitter or
$1,
something.
I make it down.
Yeah.
That's why
I
I
don't
shit
know.
on company time.
Yeah, and watching the Twins though, it's productive.
It was great.
Our friend Bubba, I remember, he just randomly had a tweet one day that said, "There's nothing like taking a good shit and getting paid for it."
Yeah.
was
Literally
just the way it was worded.
putting it out for everyone to see.
Half his life is out the toilet.
I think so. And he says it's his office.
He spends more time
I'm
on
in the office.
toilet than Zane and houseboy Donnie, and they both have fucking Crohn's
Yeah,
disease.
we have excuses. We have diseases.
You guys
man.
have reasons.
Yeah.
He
You
just
still
has
spend-
obesity.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's his reason.
You guys as
Obesity.
guys with Crohn's disease must have the best phone games of any person in the human race.
You are so fucking good at Temple Run back in the day.
Doodle jump.
Yeah.
Got the highest score on that
Fruit
pitch.
Ninja. All right. Let's move on to the Gophers. So we won on
Gophers.
We won on homecoming, 34-28 over the Ragin' Cajun Louisiana football team.
Which-
They
We-
do not want to be called
so-
Louisiana Lafayette.
Gage was at the game. You know Gage.
Yes.
He's a Live in 5 podcast under
Yep.
our brand. And the very first thing he said was, how the fuck is the Sioux name going to get canceled? Yet they're allowed to call themselves the fucking Raging Cajuns. That's way more offensive than the Sioux, is what he was. That was his argument.
He also did say my favorite term that he says. He's like, that team name is Nails, though.
It is a sick name. It is, but like, in a way, isn't that is that offensive? Because he was saying it was technically offensive.
So he was defending that on Twitter, and I saw actually a really hilarious response to it that said, "I don't remember the mass Raging Cajun genocide."
Yes,
and I'm like,
yes.
great counterpoint.
Yes, that is a
great
good
counterpoint. Yeah, I guess I'll just crawl back to my corner.
And I'm not gonna get in a fight over names of teams or whatever, but I think most people can plainly look at UND fighting Sioux and realize it wasn't like insulting the Sioux.
It's an honor.
Exactly.
It's honoring
Yes, but we don't
them,
have to get into that.
But isn't I think Cajun is they're just honoring a pepper essentially.
Well, aren't Cajuns? They call people from
From the
Louisiana Cajuns.
Yeah.
They're like it's
Yeah.
I remember Tom Segura fucking joking. He says it's French and redneck merging. It's a hygiene combo no one can conquer.
Yeah,
I think that was
it
the
is though.
joke.
You go down there and it's weird. Like
I think it's like a
like
there's
cayenne
people.
pepper.
There's people passed out because they're so drunk.
Let me
There's
search
trash
Cajun.
in the
Let's see.
streets,
From
and then
what
you
I'm-
go and you see that French like Canadian symbol, and you're like, what the hell is going on down here?
Here,
You
so
gotta-
From everything I'm seeing, it's in reference to Cajun
Yeah, but
seasoning.
you gotta
cayenne
look up
pepper.
So I just searched Cajun definition. This is what pops up. A member of any largely self-contained communities in the bayou areas of southern Louisiana formed by the descendants of French Canadians.
I don't feel bad at
Speaking an
all.
archaic form of French.
I think
Okay.
it's more of
They
like
have
a slang
LSU.
term, right?
But yeah, but I mean, people like they identify as Cajun. So by being a raging Cajun, you're saying you're a raging. It literally says ethnicity when I search.
Raging alcoholic.
It says ethnicity when I search Cajuns, right up here. You see it?
Louisiana and like New Orleans especially is
See that?
super French.
We should.
I think Cajun in itself doesn't seem that bad, but when you add Ragin in front of it, it sounds weird.
Yeah, then it sounds like you're saying you're a raging group of ethnics. This
Yes.
is what
Yeah.
it comes across as.
I think it'd be funny.
they-
It's always funny when you insult white people. You should do
Yeah, it is.
Bug eater.
the raging honkies.
the buggy.
I always like the slang term honkies,
Yeah.
like the raging
Or like
honkies.
rednecks.
The Minnesota fat white males.
Yeah,
which would be a
Midwest
great
fat
name
guys.
representing Minnesota.
fat white guys.
If you go to any Vikings game, when you look around,
Oh.
there's some hefty guys out there.
They're like,
Wild games.
they're like, we're not even gonna come up with a creative name that rhymes. We're just gonna call them fat white guys. We're gonna call a spade a spade.
The Hastings heifers.
Is
Is that bad?
It's fine.
It's all.
Eli might come to your house and kill you though. If good.
Hastings,
Hastings.
douchebags.
But journalist Jake, you did miss the game. You're a fake fan.
And
I
here's
was
the
at the
thing.
game.
You were at the prior two homecoming games.
No, you were porridging and foraging and coraging and
Forage?
roaraging.
No, I was at the game.
You were not at the game.
I just
I
want
was
to
at the
point
game.
out.
What do you mean by you were at
I
the
just want to point
Was
out
at the game?
JJ was at the last two ones. He wasn't at this last game, and all of a sudden the
Allegedly.
Gophers win. No, I was there, and you know what? Actually, I know who took your tickets. They actually came up and sat next
Yeah,
to
no,
us.
my
your
neighbors.
parents' neighbors.
They're
No,
very,
no,
very kind.
They were
people.
sitting in our seats where we typically sit.
And
but
then
we
they
were sitting
Oh,
somewhere
so
No,
else.
they sat next to us.
Oh, cool.
They came up and sat next to us. They actually were two of the individuals who asked us what you were doing. We told them straight up to their
Porridging?
face. No, we told them that you were violated and mauled by a bear.
Oh, nice.
But we made sure to say violated. So.
Yeah, so
Nice.
they knew.
They're probably asking where my father was as well.
Yeah.
He was also
It
mauled by
was.
a bear.
Is that the first like Bringoldless
gotta
Gopher
be.
game in like decades? It's got to be up there.
When's the
between
last
you and
time
your-
there was not a Bringold at a Gopher football game?
Oh, shit.
2020 doesn't count.
Yes, that obviously doesn't count because no one was able to go.
The last home game I had missed before this alleged game that I was allegedly maybe not there for was like 2015 for a wedding.
Was your father at that game or no? Was he also gone?
No, he was also gone.
Dang.
Okay, so 20. That's
The Twins' losing
Wow.
streak is still more than that, but that's
7
still pretty.
years since you missed a Gopher game.
I've only, yeah, 8 years.
8 years since a
2015.
Bringold missed. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then they win. They win. So that's only saying.
But,
God, I
but
hate pollen.
Even if I wasn't allegedly not
Burn
at
it
this
all.
game, I have seen plenty of homecomings they have won.
Oh.
I've been to
Cool.
plenty of homecoming
Well,
games.
so
where they
I have a
But
question
since
for you.
the
Did
founding
you-
of the company,
Did
though.
you watch the last two Gopher games before the homecoming game in which they lost?
the what?
The last two Gopher football games before the last one, the homecoming game. Did you watch those last two of the two losses live?
Yes, against Bowling Green.
So
and
you're saying the one game in the last three you couldn't watch live. The Gophers won.
Yeah.
2019, they did win.
That's not what I'm talking. Never mind.
They did win. They did win the homecoming game
We're
in
giving a
2019.
specific sample size. Though.
Yes.
Well, if you could find a stat in any specific sample size, but 2019 they did win their homecoming game. I think in 18 they won, 16 I think they won as well. 15 they did win. They beat Purdue.
Well, and they try to be smart when they schedule them and schedule shitty teams, but those
I
shitty
hate
teams
it.
have just beat us the last few years.
I know.
And,
Well,
and there were times where this team could have beat us.
Oh
on
yeah,
Saturday.
Early on, I was like, this isn't looking good.
Louisiana was ranked last year. I think they were a much better opponent than fucking Bowling Green and we had Purdue last year.
Jack and I are Fig fans this week, though. So
Why?
because we won't be there.
Well,
You're gonna literally be at one of the biggest this is the
Number
oldest
2
rivalry.
team in the country.
my brother's getting married.
yeah,
on
you have a
Saturday.
better
excuse.
excuse. My
Cam.
dad is running in the biggest
I
demolition
literally
derby
don't.
in Minnesota.
But they're number 2.
That's more.
This
Is that
the-
more important than the meeting?
Yeah.
This is literally the oldest rivalry in all of sports.
Oh no.
This goes back to the late 1800s.
We're gonna get
Text
boat
me-
raced
yeah.
so bad.
Text me when you're at
We
Sal's
might lose
with
by
some young
60
sexy
points.
teens, and
So-
we lost by 40.
This is actually a serious offer right now. If you
Cam,
want to
come
buy one of their tickets at market price and sit next to a few 10K people, you should DM the account because they will sell you their tickets
Yeah.
at a fair price. But they're not going to screw you over.
No,
but
no.
I want some 10K
You know what?
fans at least sitting next to me.
I'll say it now.
Harbaugh's back.
If you DM me at Bossman10K on either Instagram or Twitter, I'll give you a 30% off discount for
And
my
you
ticket.
can DM him both for both. Jesus.
D-head
Christ.
him.
Yeah,
You
two,
like
two,
DM him.
2 tickets, 30% off what the current market price is right now for Gopher tickets. Sitting next to some 10K guys. Hit us up.
Plus shipping and handling.
We're gonna-
Bossman
we're gonna boost the
10K.
price.
But then I'm going to throw a processing fee that's going to make up for the 30%.
Well, you need to do that. Of course.
Service
Of
fee,
course.
interest
I'm
fee.
kidding. I won't do that.
But if you call within the next 10 minutes, you do get a free towel.
you'll get a second ticket for half off.
Oh, JJ, you missed it, but at the tailgate, Mike Brown has a spot. We finally gave him the 10K flag.
saw the
so
video.
now we have a
Oh.
10K flag flying at the
But-
Gopher
It's now a
tailgates.
10K tailgate.
But the tragic thing that I didn't think about with
We
flags,
learned this the hard way, yes.
They make 2-sided flags, which makes sense why the American flag, when no matter what direction it's waving, you
It
can
looks the
see the
same,
stars
yes.
and the stripes. Our flags that
One
we
side.
ordered 2020, which they're older flags, they only have one side. So
Oh.
if it's on the other side, it just looks like a faded
You can still
red and
see the
white,
10K
yeah.
logo, but it's faded.
It looks like
he's
a-
waving for surrender.
It's
Yes.
a Japanese
Yeah.
flag.
Oh, yeah.
That's
it
kind of what it
kinda-
looks like from behind.
It might make sense for Saturday
Oh,
night.
actually, sorry. Speaking of Japan, we had we had a very interesting Instagram comment regarding the Twins winning that I need to find. You guys keep talking about the Gopher game while I find this because
Okay.
I need to read it.
Speaking
Yeah,
of comments,
no.
Cam, you got roasted on social media.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That was bad. I felt bad.
But
for
here's
you.
the thing.
That's okay.
I have a new theory because those videos of someone signaling shit from below, you know what I'm saying, where someone's pretending to do a penalty or something, they blow up. Every single one.
Yeah.
We have multiple videos of 60K
All right.
plus likes
Yeah.
just doing penalty signals.
Sorry, really quick to go back to the Twins. We had this comment. This is the Instagram comment of the week via It's a Bit. Dr_Strange_Golf commented on the Twins video of them winning their first playoff
Yep.
game in, whatever how many years. I will call off the Bombers. Abort. 9. Wing attack. Plan our nuclear drops have been avoided. Go Twins. At MLB. #Oppenheimer.
Dude, he tagged everyone.
Some German guy is blacked out right now
Yep.
who is somehow a Twins fan.
It's probably Max
just
Kepler's
bitching.
Max
cousin.
Cover, yeah.
It's Kepler's dad, for sure. Or it's his Kepler's burner.
Yeah. Doing his German chants.
Jake, I'm fine with getting ripped to shreds on Twitter because I do know that I look like an Alaskan bullworm, and they just bring they're bringing fucking fuck.
The
I
comment.
Can't talk.
The
Cam it,
comment
Cam
was,
it,
"What's
Cam
its
it.
the word?
pronoun?"
Cam, you know what you're going to have to do.
I saw that. That was brutal.
People-
What's his pronoun?
Dude, I hate comments.
I did
so
not read
There-
that.
oh, dude, there's some bad some
Dude,
bad comments.
Anytime we have a viral clip of us for our podcast, I purposely avoid the comments
Dude.
because I know that we're getting ripped
Have
to
you-
shreds.
Someone said, "Anyone ever see that movie Mask from the '80s?" Have you guys seen that movie?
Yes.
Cam, that's
Rocky Danger. Someone compared him
it's
to Rocky
fucked.
Dangerfield.
No, just look up the Mask movie from the '80s, and I forgot what that was, and I looked up the title. I'm like, oh, I've seen that movie. That's so bad. What pronoun does this thing go by?
Dude, stop reading these comments. You
That's
asshole.
brutal,
But
dude.
Jake's gotten some bad ones, too.
I've gotten some.
Maybe
bad
I
ones.
am.
Everyone's gotten
We-
bad
we-
ones.
we all
I'm
got
just
You
glad
guys-
you're
you
okay
guys-
with those, Cam.
Do you guys
'cause that was
remember
bad.
the shit that the Dallas Stars fans were saying about me?
Oh, yeah,
They
yes,
went
yes.
deep, dude. Some of it
Oh,
actually
yeah.
kind of hurt. I'm
No,
not going to lie.
Maybe I am
all
gonna
of us
jump
have
off this
been.
building.
All of us have been attacked to shreds.
love
over
it.
the last
so
3 or
Cam,
4 years.
Cam, but here's how to spin it into a positive. Ready? So one of the comments that stuck out to me was that's an interesting build. Now you can use that as motivation.
No,
Someone
it
says you can
actually-
survive car wrecks, so
Get that
Yeah, 'cause I have the biggest head ever.
get that creatine
Oh, dude,
and that
it's a
protein
lot.
powder out of the cupboards and start going back to
No.
the gym.
You know what is great though? They say I have an interesting build. I'm fucking built different. I don't know what you want. from me.
This is the
Exactly.
ideal male body. You may
Great
not like it,
response.
but this is what peak performance
I'm
looks
built
like.
different.
And you know, Cam's not asking us to confirm this, but the boys will confirm this. The kid can pull, so congratulations, Cam.
We
Hey,
also
thanks.
all have weird bodies. If you think about all, I'm not trying to get weird here, but if you think about all of our bodies, we all have some pretty noticeable
Dude,
flaws.
I can't wear normal
Like-
pants because of my hockey thighs. I
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, I'm a freak.
I
I'll
have
admit it.
I'm a freak.
I look so skinny yet so fat at the same time. It's
I,
almost
I have
impressive.
the nose of Toucan Sam,
See?
and it looks like
See?
it's crooked to hell, and I think I probably have
And I
sinus
just
issues.
look like an Alaskan bullworm.
You just-
We all
if you
have
think about
clear
it, we're the
difficulties.
perfect group to hang out together.
What-
okay?
what-
We all have flaws together.
Do you know what that is, Jack?
what are their pronouns?
That's crazy.
dude, Cam, I'm just
so bad.
because like we all get ripped to shreds, but that was just I just saw like 40 comments when I saw it.
Should I just go reply to all of them?
You should. Thank you.
You just say,
Is it on Twitter?
No,
There's some on Twitter, but
Instagram's where the bad
Instagram has
ones
the
are.
he was built for car accidents. Them titties a game changer though, LOL. And then someone just comments nice tits.
you should comment on all of them. Just fuck you, fuck you, fuck you,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Here's
fuck
the
you.
thing.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck
I'm not
you,
gonna.
fuck you.
I look at the video and I just like I don't think Cam looks weird
No,
at all.
there's
Like,
just-
we just
It's just weird that you're doing the ref thing.
Well, here's rule number
Dildo.
101 of the internet. Ready? If you have something that gets viral enough, there will be a certain percentage of hate that comes with it.
Get this
So-
man the
Dude.
water.
I like that. There are a few funny comments though because we're talking about Cam being the long snapper dildo.
Someone's like, great hire by Mike Cock.
Yes, I did see a few of those comments.
Great recruit by Mike Cock.
Cam,
Also-
it's probably the mullet that threw everyone off.
Also, if you're listening, Zeke_Bruni, you are right that I'm built to survive car wrecks. That's why I do demolition derby.
Dude,
that's
Water,
why he went to the
Water
VMs.
Wave TV, they commented, "Get this man a water." It has 380 likes.
Dude, I just love
It's like you guys are Water Wave TV. You have the water.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
pronoun does this thing go by?
That's just crazy.
That one was just as. I think there was some on Twitter too, but we don't need to keep getting.
We don't need
into
to go into it.
But
It's-
we
it's
all
happened to
get
everybody.
ripped on.
It's
Yeah,
all right.
by the way, Cam, did you notice though? Jake was so happy to start bringing these
Oh
comments
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah.
You know, I feel really bad
'cause
though
he's a
when I
raging
saw him.
cockbag.
But I'm just
But
saying there were like
I'm-
40 fucking comments, Cam. Like it's
I
crazy.
actually think I am gonna like go Antonio Brown off the deep end and just reply to all of these and get myself banned on Instagram. Like I'm gonna search their profile.
Go CTE
I'm just
on
saying,
their asses.
I'm just saying.
Just respond with a really personal insult to every one of them, like your girlfriend's fucking ugly,
Yeah.
and then
100%.
and then like, oh yeah, I bet you miss your grandpa, like he's dead now.
Or do what a Bubba did and like
Oh God.
put a video up from your car saying, "Hey Michelle, what's up?" and like obviously like refer to them by their
Oh.
username.
There will be nothing worse though than a tweet with almost 1,000 likes from a Dallas Stars fan, and it's two pictures. It's one picture of me and one picture of Bubba, and it says POV, you're at the dick sucking contest, and these two show up. And that tweet had like 100,000 views. So at least you're not in that
Yeah.
boat. At least you're not being associated with Bubba as a dick sucker.
Yeah, you don't want to be associated with Bubba in any sort.
I'm
But-
literally-
But also that tweet didn't make sense because they alluded to that they show up for dick sucking competitions.
True. Yeah, they were
It's like-
there.
It's just like you eat pieces of shit for breakfast. It was
Right,
like that
right.
same logic.
Yeah, the Gophers won on homecoming. Do you have anything else to talk
we
about
really
there,
went
Cam?
off topic. Yeah.
No, I'm currently on Clayton.Cabrera 2021's Instagram because he asked about my
Does he have a
pronouns.
dead grandpa that you can make
No.
fun of?
Well,
or-
if anyone wants to see the post we're referring to, go to our Instagram. We'll go to the post of when we're introducing long snapper dildo to the people. You got to scroll a little bit on our Instagram,
You know
but
what?
you'll see it.
You know what? I'll say this. If you want the Gopher tickets, comment on that Instagram picture something nice about Cam's
Yes.
body,
Yeah,
and
love it.
you'll get 35% off rather than 30% off.
There we go.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah,
just like, yeah, there's nothing nice to say. I don't want to go to the game.
I'll just save the 5%. I don't know what nicest things to say.
There'll be some nice comments. There might be
I love
those
how, too, in that
assholes.
video,
Yeah, nothing
Zane,
nice to say.
Zane just, like, blatantly shoved him.
Just shoves
And
him.
our buddy Charlie was, like, so drunk next to me. He goes, some guy just fucking shoved him. Did you see it in the video? I'm like, yeah, that was Zane.
Yeah.
Like, you see what he looks like.
Yeah,
The funny thing too,
Yeah.
there's not a single comment on the Instagram video about the shoving.
I thought there was
Yeah.
one.
There might have been one, but there's like there's like
might have been
70
Twitter.
comments. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one comment either on Twitter or Instagram like, "You should have decked that guy over the
that
railing."
was Charlie on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
that was Charles, the
There
hockey
you
guy.
go. There you go.
Okay, well, no,
But-
I showed that video to my brother, and he was like, Where the fuck did that guy
Oh, there's-
elbow him?
There
I'm
is
like,
one.
no, that's Zane.
There's one on Instagram that says, "This guy is signing the downs for the deaf, and that asshat just pushed him." Like I was like the interpreter for the deaf people.
Zane was wearing a hat in the video, so it checks out.
I was, yes.
Wow, coach.
But yeah, that same night we went to the Wild preseason game. Like we said, shout out to Wild Bites. If you guys don't know what they are a Instagram and Twitter account that posts all of the food drink updates in the XL Energy Center. All the different you can get so many specialty drinks in there that I didn't know about.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, the Tap House has some of the best wings I've had in my whole entire life.
Yeah, they're also experimenting with a ton of new flavors. I can't remember what they are because I don't think they're officially released yet.
Yeah, but we, for example, we got PB&J wings there. Some of the best wings I've ever had. Also, the dill pickle wings, straight fire.
Yeah, so make sure to follow Wild Bites. They hooked us up, but we went to preseason game. Some guys made the roster. I think Connor Dewar made the roster.
Adam Beckman,
Brendan Duhame.
Yep.
Pretty much guys who scored. I was really mad, though. The one thing I was really mad about this preseason game was that they said that Philip Gustafson was going to share the net with Zane McIntyre.
Return of the Mac.
He's our guy down in Iowa, UND guy. Actually played with our good buddy Gage Osmus at University of North Dakota. And he didn't play at all. He never saw the ice, which I get that Gus is the number one guy. You know, we need him to be the number one guy. But at least give Zane, like, the third period. Yeah. I just wanted to start a return. I wanted to get a video of him saying, with the song Return of the Mac, whatever fucking Macklemore song that is, just for the I'm feeling glorious. I wanted to do that bit, and I was stripped of that. He sat on the bench with a fucking hat on. I was so mad.
My theory is the only reason they didn't start him is because Connor Bedard didn't start. If
True.
Connor Bedard starts,
True.
they're gonna throw the Mac at Connor.
It wouldn't have been fair.
Yes.
It wouldn't have been fair.
Yes. His name's Connor, right? Like, sorry, right? Or am I wrong?
Yes, it's Connor Bedard.
Sorry.
Bedard.
The reason why I got it mixed up in my mind is because Connor McDavid. You have to name your kid Connor to be elite at hockey.
Yes.
Correct. And you have to be from Canada.
Or Kirill.
My firstborn child's gonna be Connor or Kirill.
It's going to be Connor Kirill.
Connor Kirill.
Kirill Wagner. There you
Yes,
go.
that's going to be two.
That way you're statistically set.
That's a sick
Genetically.
name, by the way.
Connor Kirill, Kirill Connor.
Oh, God.
Kirill Connor Wagner. I think you got to go with Connor. I think Connor is a
Kirill
little more of a
Wagner.
success
Yes.
rate. There's only one
like,
Kirill.
It is like modern day Chad though, like the name.
Fuck
Connor.
it. I don't
It
care.
is.
I
It's
haven't met the Connor that I hate yet.
It's a Canadian version of Chad.
It's
And
a
they're-
frat boy name.
and they're all elite at hockey
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
You guys are
making
literally all
millions of
in a
dollars.
frat.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Wild, like I had texted Bill Guerin
Oh no.
on my way back on Sunday because I was
At least
just
you weren't drunk, probably, right?
no, I was not drunk.
right,
I
good.
did have his whiskey up with me at
Oh yeah,
up
that's
in the
right.
Boundary
He
Waters.
gave us that bottle of
The
whiskey.
1884 did not hammer it all of it because I didn't
Is
want to
that
get
it right
fucked up.
there?
Yeah, there's a lot missing from it. How much did you take?
I filled up a whole 8-ounce flask.
So this was the bottle.
Actually-
So we were at BG's house,
It's very good whiskey.
and he
That was full when he gave it to us.
he gave us a bottle because he has so many bottles of whiskey. People have gifted him. He was nice enough to give us this bottle, but I think it was full. And Jake's like, "I'm going to take a little for a flask."
There was a little bit gone when I
so
went up to it.
Houseboy
so it was
Donnie
open.
might
Yes.
have been sipping on
dipping
it.
in.
But I put it in an 8-ounce flask. Well, let's just say we finished it, but let's just say
I'm
there were
glad
some other
someone drank
parties.
it because it sat in there for months.
Yes, it was very good. You know, it was nice. You know, being up by the fire, hearing nature, and sipping on Bill
and
Guerin's
foraging,
whiskey.
and porridging and roaring.
We have
portaging.
We have a lot of because the Vikings sent us whiskey. Billy G sent us whiskey. We just have whiskeys to go
Yes.
through.
We need to keep drinking more whiskeys.
While we
That's what that
drive,
means,
yeah.
yes.
Well, I had texted him because we signed Zuccarello on Thursday or Friday. I didn't see that until Sunday, and I said, "Hey, I was up in the Bounty Waters, so late to news, but congrats on the Zuki signing. That was a good move." And he said, "Thanks, buddy. How'd you do up there? That seems a little extreme for you." I said, "Nothing's extreme for me. I'm the e-bug to the e-bug. It's part of my training regimen."
There we go.
Nothing back yet.
That would have been fun.
Yes.
That would have been funny if he responded to you and said, "No, I really hated the number we got him. His agent is a serious motherfucker."
Well, Jake, you're also aware they signed Marcus Foligno to a 4-year contract as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As
Just
well.
wanted to see.
And
Yes, but
Hartman's
the
in
Zuki one
talks.
was the biggest
Yes.
one that I saw.
Hartman
so,
is in talks.
Hartzman. And then Mason Shazi, one-way contract down in Iowa.
Iowa Wild. Yeah.
He, have you guys seen the videos of him skating?
Dude, the fans
Looks great.
love him.
He looks great on the ice.
He's a big fan guy.
I still remember. It sucks we lost that. Did we lose that game, or he did Let's Play Hockey for the playoff game? Yeah.
No,
game.
that was
the
that
one
was
we
the Friday
won.
night
Okay.
game we kicked their ass.
The
That
most
was the
electric
electric game.
game.
It was
I've
the
ever
highest
been
point
to.
of the
Yes.
series.
Yes,
Again,
okay.
2 years in a row. It was
After
game 3.
went up 2-1 in another series.
Yes. Well, and so the nice thing, we went to the preseason game. They got the W. That was great. But but this week is the last week we have to go before regular season hockey comes.
Yep.
Next Thursday is when the Minnesota Wild start, right?
That's insane. And are they playing here?
Yes, they are, and we're all going to be
We're
there.
going to go to the game. We're playing the Florida Panthers.
Oh, nice.
We had to play against Sergei Bobrovsky.
Who's a beast?
Sergey. Wait,
He is,
was Florida in the Stanley Cup last
Yes,
year?
they
Yeah,
were.
they were.
That's right.
They got boat raced by Vegas, but
Yeah.
they got clowned.
That's okay.
Also, as Wags mentioned during the ad break, make sure to go to our shop, 10ktakesmn.com. Click the shop tab. We're dropping all of our Wild merch. I'm telling you now, there's some really good designs in there, and that motherfucker is not real. I'm kidding.
That motherfucker.
But
I would say it's the best designs we've released
Jake's
so
actually
far.
wearing one right now. This is the most basic design, so it doesn't give away too much. It just says you got to
Stand up, Jake.
You got to
Stand
bang. You got to bang
Stand
bodies.
up.
What is it? It's a playoff
There you go.
necrophilia.
Gotta bang bodies. Yes.
It's a wild.
Or you could
It's open to interpretation.
My favorite one, if you guys remember those old T-shirts that just have Brent Burns' disfigured face with the beard and the missing teeth on a T-shirt, we're doing something pretty similar with Jacob Middleton, and
Yep.
we have all these. We have a million other great
Yeah,
designs. So just
yeah.
go to the store next Friday, check them out.
Yep.
This Friday.
This Friday.
Friday.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Free day.
you can buy them next Friday too, though. They will be available.
Yeah.
And the
they
Friday
will.
after that.
And
the
there's
next day.
there's some wild hats coming out
Yes.
that are
Uh-oh.
comparable to the gritty hat.
Just don't tell anyone.
In terms of quality.
Just don't tell anyone, but also tell all your friends and family and buy it so that we can quit our jobs.
and grab and then grab your parents' credit cards and
Yep.
buy more.
Yep.
And then take your grandparents' credit cards.
And then have to explain to them when we say we can't get you a refund.
yeah, take everyone else's social
We can only
security
give
number.
you in-shop credit.
Yeah, and that's okay.
All right, anything else on the Wild? Also, one final note on the Wild. Starting Thursday morning, so if you're listening to this on Thursday, it's already live. We're going to be partnering with Elite Inc. and our Wild Takes podcast to give away a signed Matt Boldy reverse retro jersey.
So it's not just like a normal jersey; it's the limited edition retro jersey. So you're
See.
gonna want this.
This is how
Yeah.
you turn your basement from pathetic to fucking awesome.
Exactly.
That's the only way I can put it professionally.
And if you've ever had the aspiration to turn your basement into the man cave, well, this is a good start to
Or
it.
the woman cave.
Or the woman cave.
If you're a fan of
Cave, yes.
if you and the gals like to get together and crush some hockey just like men. I also loved, I don't know, I think this was an Instagram ad. I think it's an actual card game you can buy, but it's a box that just says get drunk and watch hockey, and I'm like, there's no game there. That's just what I do every night. So
All the cards probably say drink a beer, and the other one says watch hockey.
or it's like drinking game rules, like every time there's a penalty, drink.
Yeah, no,
Every
that'd be
time
a
there's
shot.
a goal, take a shot.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, so
There we go.
final thing to talk about, Vikings finally got the first win, 21-13
And of
over
course,
over the Panthers.
It's a game that Jake doesn't watch.
Fake fan.
I watched the second half.
Oh, okay.
Cam
okay,
is
okay.
actually the
Second
fake
half.
fan here, roasting back to Cam. He took a little nappy nap. He did mention you did mention how hungover you were on
I was
on
so
Sunday.
fucked. It was bad.
So
I had
I'm
just
not-
portaged and bordaged for 10 miles.
And you
still
got
to watch.
violated and mauled by
yeah,
a bear,
yes,
too.
and
what
raped.
we, what we didn't
by bears.
what we didn't add is that
And wolves.
Jack and I, after we drank all day, proceeded to eat an edible when we got home, and I think that
So
fucked me.
that was a really poor
Well,
choice. That
and
was
then
at like 11 o'clock.
Cam's
at night.
dumbass played golf at 7:20.
Oh, you
Sunday
must have been
morning.
What?
so high on the golf
I
course.
made it though.
You must have been so stoned
did
on
you
the golf
score?
course.
No, it didn't kick in.
It didn't kick in.
I don't
like-
want to say.
What do
that.
you like it was a dud?
130. No, like it was like it wasn't still active.
We were moving stuff in here at Sunday. I was sweating my dick off, and I was stoned out of my mind still.
Really?
Yeah, it was not
So
good.
the fact that you made that 7:15 tee time is actually really impressive.
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
I actually woke up at around 8 a.m. or actually even earlier. I think 7. And watched.
You're watching Ryder
the
Cup.
end of the Ryder Cup. So
Ritter.
I was fine, but my Jake, what is the value?
Shut
of
up.
that statement?
Ritter Arena is where the girls'
Shut
hockey
the
team
fuck
plays
up.
at the
Shut
end
the
of
fuck
that.
up.
Here, so I want to talk about this Vikings game, okay? And
Oh.
for me, the whole game, I mean, the whole first half was extremely frustrating, like every single fucking Vikings game. I was so frustrated to the fact when Harrison Smith forced that fumble on the sack, DJ Wadham returned it for a touchdown. I was yelling, "It's about time, you fucking piece of shit!" I was that angry, and it took that. I was even angry when they scored the touchdown. That's how angry I got watching that game. I'm not sure if you guys have any similar opinions on that.
I said it was about damn time.
Yes.
You finally commit a fucking turnover and have it go the other way for once. for the first time that season. That
And
was
then-
getting so frustrating.
And then the next time we get the ball, Kirk just bombs it to JJ.
I know.
And it's like, this is how it should work.
I know.
We're good enough for it to work this way. Why do we keep shooting ourselves in the fucking
know.
feet?
That pick six in the beginning of the game might have been
not good.
God.
the worst feeling. I
Jay,
felt.
can you admit that was just a
That
horrible play by Kirk?
that was probably the worst throw I've ever seen him
Fact,
make.
yeah, same
in his
here,
career. Every
actually, yeah.
interception is like, oh, he threw it into traffic. Maybe he should. That was just, what is he doing?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
should
He
not have
eyed
thrown
the
that.
receiver all the way to. That was a Christian Ponder throw.
As soon
But
as
then
I,
again,
as when he
Kirk-
was running back, I was like, this is
Yeah.
why we're 0-3. This is why we fucking suck.
Well, and like Kirk, like he can't throw. Every quarterback throws those kind of interceptions
Yep.
once in a while, and he hadn't thrown an interception like that maybe in a couple years.
Not since we
And-
started watching
yeah,
the Vikes. Yeah.
literally. And people that hate him, like the idiots that were sitting around us at the Chargers game, which I know you hit on last week in my absence. Those people were like, oh yeah, see, he sucks. He sucks. That's every throw. Okay,
Well,
shut the fuck up.
I saw a lot of comments saying the defense and JJ had to bail Kirk out for a
What?
win. Kirk is holding this team back. I was like, dude, it works both ways, okay? Because they were the whole entire team was holding Kirk back the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, that was like the
Gosh.
first game he'd had that was less than completely borderline perfect.
It was
Yeah.
just, it was statistically his worst game, and it wasn't close. He actually
And
played
he won.
He actually played bad.
Yeah.
I think he played really bad the whole game.
But his
Like
but,
his
second half
but
looked a
look
little
at
better.
look at what his bad is, and then look at like Daniel
Daniel
Jones.
Jones,
Right.
So it
yeah.
could be worse. It could be so much worse.
Kirk still, like, I was able to watch the second half. I thought he played okay in the second half. And that was without me seeing the first half. I saw some highlights, and I watched it then the first half
Think
after
about-
the game. But, like,
Think about like Justin Fields' floor.
Ugh.
And how bad that is. Think about Zach Wilson's floor. That was Kirk's floor. and it
yeah.
wasn't a complete disaster.
yeah.
No, and well, think about this. Kirk Cousins only threw for 139 yards. In a normal week, that's Justin Jefferson alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how much he
But
puts
he
up
only
alone.
threw the ball 19 times.
You're right.
The
which
run
is
game
a
was
possession
working.
game.
I do like. I think Barrero brought this up on KFN or PA, one of those guys. They were talking about how like bringing in Cam Akers motivated Madison to be the number one guy because now he has competition. It's the same with Jeffers and is it Vasquez?
Yep.
They bring in Vasquez
Yep.
from the Astros for a shit ton of money, and suddenly Jeffers has to play for his job. Fuck it. Do the same thing with Madison. Do the same thing with the entire O-line. Hey, we're going to bring in another guy, and if you let off the gas, you're done.
Yeah, I think Madison just works better when you have two backs consistently carrying the ball. Madison is just like he's going to be hard-nosed and hit the line hard every single time. It's nice to have a running back who's going to be like a receiver or a relief pitcher in a way, and he's going to change it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, get 7-8 yards here and there.
Exactly, and when I watched Cam run, it was with a lot more finesse, with a lot more thinking, where
Yeah,
Madison just
experience.
charges at
Yeah.
the line hard.
You could see the starting experience.
Yes.
Two
in
different
Cam
styles.
Akers.
And it worked out really well. They complemented
Yeah.
each other very nicely, I thought. But yeah, Kirk sucked. I mean, for Kirk, he sucked.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see JJ get the 2 touchdowns.
It was nice to not see, like, a fumble.
Yeah.
You know?
You're right.
They didn't have a
Yes,
fumble
yes.
turnover. It was just 2 interceptions, although the second interception was not Kirk's fault at all.
No, that
It
was
Like,
was
at
tipped.
all.
that
Well,
tipped.
and I was watching, I guess it was an away game. We were all watching the TV broadcast. But the announcer was like, who is he throwing to there? He clearly had KJ going to the end zone there. That's what he was trying to do. That frustrated me.
Oh,
that-
yeah, well, like on that second interception?
second
Yeah, he
interception.
got hit from behind, and literally the ball flies 10 million yards up in the air. I didn't hear the announcer say that.
Yeah.
What a fucking moron.
Yeah, it was also
like-
cool to see JJ and Thielen meet back up.
Yeah.
They had a little moment where Thielen like snuck up on JJ and they horsed around a little like a couple of pals.
Yeah.
Thielen played amazing. He's
He
had
played great.
he's had an incredible season, and obviously you go to a place like Carolina where you're the only guy to throw to and you're
Yeah.
going to go off. So he's earned his keep on that team for sure. So
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah, he's on pace for 1,000 yards. So good for Adam Thielen, 100%. I think all Minnesota fans want to see him do well. I also saw a lot of Minnesota fans though really mad because at the end of the game he was
Yes.
screaming for an intentional grounding call to
Grounding.
Kirk.
Yeah.
And here's what I have to say to those Vikings fans: he's a competitive dude. Of course, he's going to do anything for his team.
He's
to
not
win.
on this team anymore.
Yes, so obviously he's going to be fighting the
Idiots.
refs at the end of the game. Like it's not a personal vendetta he has against Minnesota.
He would do that against any team.
Yes, if he was on Minnesota and that happened to him, he'd be doing the same
This isn't
exact
like
thing.
the fucking Mighty Ducks or some kid's sports movie.
Exactly.
This is a business. He's with
Yeah.
the
And
Panthers.
I love too because Minnesota. It looked like it was half Panthers fans, half Minnesota fans
Mm-hmm.
there. When Thielen was walking off and the game was over, there was a ton of Minnesota fans left, and all of them were giving him a standing O.
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
was
yeah,
that was
yeah.
great to
He
see. as
deserves
well.
Kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos to those fans because a lot of them probably would have. There's some idiotic fans that probably hate him for no reason.
Yep.
Just 'cause he left.
People don't like him because the announcers overplay the fact that he was a walk-on D3 whatever. But that's not his fault.
Yeah.
He was just they're just spinning it for their own takes. Like that's just the media's fault. Don't blame Thielen for that shit. Fuckers.
What before we move on, what do we think of our chances next week against the Chiefs coming here to Minnesota?
Well, if Taylor Swift is going to be in it, we'll talk about that probably with Dean Blandino a little bit here. If Taylor Swift's going to be there, we're fucked. Also, did you see? I think it was Cam Bynum who was like, "Oh, if
No,
I'm
Byron Murphy.
Or Byron Murphy's
Yes.
like, if I guard Travis Kelce, I'm going to talk some shit about Taylor Swift. It's like, don't do that.
When I saw that, I was like, "What are you doing? We don't need to give them any more motivation right now,
People
dude."
keep receipts in sports, man. More people are more petty about sports keeping receipts and takes than any other industry.
Here's the thing: the Jets they have an elite defense, and so that's why I think they were able to kind of contain Patrick Mahomes. All I'm saying, if the Chiefs play anywhere like that when they come to Minnesota,
we can win.
The Vikings can win that game.
I was going to say if we don't give up any, we're going to have a game here where we play flawless in terms of turnovers, like no dumb interceptions, no dumb fumbles. If we have 0 turnovers in that game, or maybe have one little interception that wasn't stupid or whatever that we can recover from, I'm just saying we probably will beat the Chiefs. They did, quite frankly, kind of look like shit against the Jets for a Chief.
I'm going to search the odds right now.
But I know you guys talked about it last week about Taylor Swift because I think I saw it on the buy or sell segment. But that I'm so done with it. Literally, it's getting so bad where like I saw a Fox News headline and a bunch of other media headlines. Brittany Mahomes obviously didn't like the chicken fingers in her club suite. I'm like, are we in fucking idiocracy right now?
Apparently her.
What the fuck are we talking
about? According to her, like they're friends. Apparently, according to her, she's talked to Taylor and they're good pals and they've planned on hanging out in the future. I don't think she hates her if they've planned on hanging out in the future.
Yeah.
I don't think she hates her if they talked. So I think we're just trying to come up with storylines. But
I just think it's so stupid.
it is genius by the NFL to.
Keep going,
it's a great way to get young females involved in the NFL. It's as if right when you thought the NFL had already reached everybody, they're finding a new market to reach.
They are.
I think Kelsey's jersey sales went up like 400%.
Oh yeah.
He gained 1 million followers across socials, which I'm still convinced are Swifties just waiting to tear him apart and find flaws in him when she breaks up with him.
Yep, I was gonna say.
But pretty impressive by the NFL to somehow, right when you thought they couldn't find a new market, to just do it.
Yeah,
I would never be so invested in someone else's relationship where I'm buying the jerseys of their significant others and shit like that. Like, that is fucking crazy.
I thought society was already fucked, and like this is concerning. How fixated people are on who Taylor Swift is dating and Travis Kelce, and like this happens in pop culture all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's really the first time
Kim
we're getting
Kardashian
exposed
divorced
to it,
with
though.
Kanye.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because we don't see anything like this in sports.
I think-
But like I don't care.
I do have the odds pulled up for next week if you guys want to hear them.
If she's going to be there,
No, sorry, just the Chiefs
There's
versus
gotta be a
Vikings
prop on
odds.
that, but anyways.
I guarantee you there is a prop on that. But
FanDuel.
So Chiefs are 5.5 favorites. So money line, you can get the Vikings at plus 195 or Kansas City at minus 225.
Man, I would almost
kinda
take
like
that money line on the Vikings.
either that or I like us as underdogs.
I like Kirk
the
over
spread.
whatever passing yards he set out on underdog fantasy.
because it probably went back down
Yes.
because of the last
The
game.
Chiefs don't have like an incredible. They've never really had like the best defense in the league.
and their
Well,
offense-
let's be honest. Besides, obviously Mahomes is the best in the NFL, but besides Kelsey, who are his weapons really? He doesn't have
Valdes
Jarek McKinnon.
Scantling.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying though, like he doesn't have too many weapons.
Isaiah Pacheco might
He's good.
is good.
He might be a
Yes.
guy.
might kill us.
He was running pretty well
He might be
yesterday.
the one guy that
Hard running
concerns
guy.
me.
He runs like he's trying to break through the fucking ground.
Yeah,
The
he's
fact that
insane.
he was
Yeah,
a
he runs
7th
hard.
round pick too, it blows my mind. He's such a good player.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude,
but
but,
you see how
uh,
aggressive he like steps when he
Oh
runs?
yeah. He's getting his revenge on turf.
Yeah.
Because
Dude,
turf has
it's
hurt
turf
a
war.
lot of NFL players.
that Marcus Davenport looked like amazing.
He finally played, and he
That-
I'm not gonna get too excited because Carolina's offense
Yeah.
does suck.
Yeah.
However, if he's as big as a game changer as he appeared in that Carolina game, I think the season turns around. I really
no
do.
one was breaking through the line in the first 3 weeks, and
Yeah,
except
we're
for
31st.
Danielle Hunter.
Before last week, we were 32nd in pass rush. After that,
Yeah.
after last
It
week,
was
we're
ju-
31st.
It was just
Thank
Danielle
God.
Hunter, and now
Neil
Davenport.
Hunter and Pace Jr. was the other bright spot
Yeah.
on defense.
Thank God Davenport performed because I don't know if you saw when like he would talk to the media. I wanted to fucking
He just seemed
throw
like
him away.
I don't think he tried to come off this way, but you're right. He came off the first 3 weeks as
Like,
like
he didn't wanna
I
be
don't care that I'm not playing. You know, that's what.
Yeah.
But obviously he did care. Look at
Right.
what he did week 4. But yeah, I agree with you. Like just the way he was coming off, it wasn't the best. But
Like if he would have went out there and not performed, I'm like, all right.
it's a Dumb and Dumber bit.
What's,
He completely redeemed himself.
Wags, what's
totally
the over
redeemed
under for
yourself.
that game?
Yeah, I got.
I like the over, whatever it is. It's got to be like 48.5.
54 and a half.
Yeah, yes,
54.
54
Okay,
and a
maybe
half.
I don't
yes.
like
I just
that.
guessed that.
Sorry, 52 and a half.
Okay.
Apologies.
The
52
Vikings,
and a
I don't
half.
think they've hit a lot of overs other than the Chargers game. That might be the only over
No,
they hit.
Eagles 31 and
Oh,
36.
yeah,
They
I
had to
suppose,
get that
I
one.
suppose. Okay. Yeah, maybe I like the over on that. Maybe alternating overs.
The only thing, it's like it's technically. I mean, do they count that a primetime game? It's nationally televised, right?
Is it a 3 p.m. game?
It's a
3 p.m.
3:25 American
Oh.
game
They
of the
count
week.
those prime time?
Oh.
I think. I don't know.
No, it's
No, they
technically
don't.
not.
Even though it's
prime time
nationally-
is Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday
Okay.
night.
Well, at the very least,
London game.
It is a nationally televised game, so.
Yeah.
America's
yeah.
game of the week.
It is cool that like most of the country can watch it.
Yep.
So that's usually when it's like Raiders and Niners. I'm so sick of watching those two. I feel like those two fucking teams play like every other week. So
You
I'm
see who's
glad
playing this fucking Thursday?
The Bears and
the Bears
Commanders.
and the Bears and Commanders.
Yes.
Come the
Gross.
command
The
wagon.
PFT big cap.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why they did it. But now that you
Exactly.
mentioned that, actually.
Yep. Yep. All right. Before we get to our interview with Dean Blandino, let's go through our bits of the week. Start with let's go with you, Cam. What do you got?
I have the texting with coaches bit.
You just used the bit I wrote down.
And
for him.
yeah, because it actually is a good bit.
Well, wait, sorry. Did you see what bit I had in there before?
Yes, he deleted that. Not
What
me,
was
by
the bit?
way.
Can we disclose it?
Nope.
Hey,
Oh.
he did delete it before we
Okay,
got
yeah,
to
I
it.
can't-
That's
I
the
can't
rule.
read it. I
No,
can't
saying this
Damn
is,
it.
like I actually went on there to like see what I was gonna think of a bit, and you had that in there. I'm like, yeah,
It works.
that
It
actually
does.
works because I did that on
You're a
Saturday
writer.
when I was blackout. So I texted. We were eating at what's the name of the place?
Did you hear that?
Jesus, Jack.
Tap House?
That's
The-
an ASMR. Why is the pollen? I'm sorry. Why is the pollen count so high in October? This is so fucked.
God hates
The
us.
Tap House, the McGolden Light Tap House.
Yeah, so we were sitting there and we were waiting for our food, and we were all blackout drunk at this time. Like I took a picture of myself and I looked just hammered, but I looked. To
What
my,
even is that?
Yeah,
What the hell is even that?
I looked to my left and there's a picture of Darby Hendrickson. I'm like, hey, that's my friend. I text him all the time. So I texted him. I was like, it's not every day you get to take a photo in front of your hero. And he replies with, that's great. Younger than, I don't know. He doesn't know how to text. And he was like, where you at? Question mark. And I just told him. we were-
Remember,
Where are you
this
at?
is about 20 minutes before
Yeah.
the Wild game
This
starts.
is during
wow.
warm-ups.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just told him where I was, and I was like, and then I asked if he wanted to meet up after the game. He said he was going to hang out with his son. And then we were just like, we just went back and forth. And then during the game, the first goal, I was like, that screen by Duhaime was so good.
Which it was.
Good job, coach.
It was a great screen by Duhaime on that first goal.
The funniest part of that exchange with Cam and Darby was Darby asked, whoa, that's a great picture. Where are you guys at? And then Cam told him, oh, we're at the Golden Light Tap House. And then Cam responds, again, it's about 15 minutes before the Wild play a game. Where are you at?
I think we told him to say that. We're
Yes.
like,
Where are you
that,
at?
It'd be like the classic, like, oh, where are you at?
He said, no, yeah, and then he replied with XL. Where's Tap House? XL.
It's like second floor. Come grab one quick.
All right.
Take a can for the road.
Come to the Tap House and grab a beer.
It was-
for the bench.
You want to know the most wild takeaway I had from that game, though? You like the little pun there?
I was going to say.
I was telling the Wild Takes guys about it last night, and they were also kind of surprised. Chicago's third-string goalie had white pads on, which
Yeah.
it's pretty traditional. They said it was probably a junior guy, but still, it was so weird to see a Chicago Blackhawks player not wearing a dark-based pads, like black helmet, black pads, black glove and blocker. It was all white, and it just didn't look great. So it was kind of hurting my eyes simultaneously while my boy Zane McIntyre was riding the bench wearing a fucking hat instead of a goalie mask, saving Connor Bedard's
Dude,
clap bombs. I was upset about that.
We were so pumped because we thought they were going to change like halfway through the game. So after the 10-minute whistle in the second period, we thought the goalies would switch. And when we just looked at the 10-minute mark and Zane was still wearing the hat, both of us were just so we were very
we were
disappointed.
defeated.
like
It kind of
tryouts.
ruined the game
It,
for him.
it sucked, dude.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it was great. It
That
was
just
fun.
reminds me of like tryouts when they would hit that halfway point of the tryout scrimmage and then the goalies would switch.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
go to the bench. They should have did that. It's preseason.
I know.
It's essentially the tryout.
Guys
Or-
in Iowa need love too.
Or you said earlier they're sharing the net. They should have literally shared the net. They should have both
Oh yeah.
been
Stuck
in the
on
net.
you, Bit.
And
Yes.
then take a defenseman off the ice.
Yes, they should have did that. That would have been fantastic. I think it'd be
It's
great.
still 6 skaters.
It is.
Actually, I want to look into that. Can you dress 2 goalies, remove a defenseman, have both goalies?
There's
in
no
net?
Probably
chance.
not.
We got to look at the rule book. Okay.
Maybe
You
there's
know,
nothing
there,
stipulating that.
like if that was allowed, these 2 identical twins out of Sweden would come out of nowhere and they're like, "We've been training for this our whole lives." Like they have this whole like choreography together of how to make certain saves together, and there'd never be a goal scored ever again.
Now, I'm not sure if you guys know this or not. Is there rules on what a goalie must have? Like he must have 1 glove, he must have 1 blocker, he must have 1 stick.
I don't know because
Could you double glove it? Could you double blocker it?
Oh.
Could you
Oh,
double
I don't know.
stick it? Could you do that stuff?
Uh,
I don't. I
I
played
think you
hockey
could.
my whole life, and I have no clue.
I don't know.
You need all of those things though.
to be
See, you
they're all
do.
playing- they're all-
However, how would it, if you had 2 gloves? I mean, I'm saying like you could probably catch a lot more. Obvious. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like.
But
Like,
you
I feel like
expose-
you could adapt your game a lot
You
though.
could, but then you probably
Expose the
expose your
5-hole if
5-hole
you're
more,
not-
and you
yeah.
don't have as much control around. With
Or
the
you could
stick.
just literally be butterflying the whole game and just using the
Good.
glove to stop anything.
That's
up
kind of
high.
what we did against John Schiavo when we did the 3 goalie
Yeah,
challenge.
yep, exactly.
We kind of
Three-headed
just
dragon.
sat in the butterfly.
Well, if there's anyone out there who is a rules expert with hockey, you should let us know this goalie thing because I'm actually curious.
We
to
need
know.
we need a transition.
We need Wes McCauley on the.
We need an NHL rules analyst like
Yep.
Dean Blandino, who's coming up in a little bit. Before we get to that, like that shit, Wags, what's your bit of the week?
I got the Surly employee bit. Just like we said, after the Gopher game, the boys decided to go to Surly, and Cam, he got the wrong pizza, and so he went back there to like argue, hey, you guys gave me the wrong.
To just ruin
Oh
someone's
yeah, you just
day?
want what you paid for.
Yeah.
No, completely understandable. I'm not going against you in any way. And as he does that, he's like, dude, there's some guy in the middle of the kitchen passed out on the ground. Like, he's not looking good. We're like, what? And all of a sudden, we look into the kitchen, and people are helping him up, and they put him into a wheelchair. Where the wheelchair came from, no clue. They put him into the wheelchair. They wheel him out of the kitchen, and he starts vomiting all over himself. This guy showed up to work completely hammered, and the fact that he even showed up to work is impressive.
Yeah.
But he shows up, he immediately passes out, and then he starts vomiting on himself in Surly Brewing on Saturday at what, 3 p.m.?
Yeah, it
I
was
think he
earlier
hit
in
up
day.
the cannabis event that was going on there.
Yes, there was
Got
a
a little
cannabis
twisted
event.
tea.
Yes, but that
Ah.
was I've not seen anything like that. That was crazy.
He probably wasn't the only person to throw up at Surly that day. The only difference was he was there to work. So
Exactly,
It's a tough
yeah.
look.
Now that you say that, I didn't even register in my brain that he was an employee until now.
No, yeah, he was wearing the whole getup that the
Yeah.
employees were wearing.
That's fucking.
That was a
wild.
bad look for Surly Brewing is when one of their one of their
Yeah.
one of their employees is getting wheeled out wearing the hat and the shirt, and as he's throwing up in like a dish rag bucket.
Oh,
I also
man.
really quickly I want to talk about the weed festival that they had going on there. I know a lot of stoners, and for the most part the stoners I know, they're just normal people who they grew up watching sports, they look like normal dudes, and they smoke weed every day, right? The people at this stoner event,
Yeah.
they are the people who actually define the term stoner. I thought you would see a few normal people. No, everyone there dyed hair. A lot of the guys had fingernails were painted. A lot of them had tattoos all over the face. And it's just not when I picture a stoner, for some reason, I just didn't picture this exact crowd, I guess. I just kind
Yeah.
of pictured someone, I guess, in a weird way, similar to me who smoked a lot of weed, right?
You were kind of thinking of these guys are the epitome of weed as the gateway drug.
Yeah, they 100% are the epitome. They was
Monster Energy pajama pants.
yeah, so they
was gonna
look
say.
they
on
look
an
like
85-degree day.
But did the crowd there not look like they were there? Like, if someone was like, "Oh, there's a heroin convention in town,"
Yeah.
could you not believe that
All
was
I'm
the same
all I'm
crowd?
gonna say is the percentage of black zip-up hoodies was over under at least 60% of the
literally-
population.
It's literally black zip-up hoodie, Cookie Monster pajama pants, hot Cheetos, and a blunt.
Huh.
Yes.
Nice.
And again, we have nothing against weed. We have literal edible episodes on this podcast,
Oh, yeah,
right?
no.
But I was just so shocked on I guess just for lack of a better term, the outcast kind of.
The demographic?
Yes, if you know what I'm saying there.
I was
yeah.
gonna say, 1991 Seattle called.
You're right,
They want
no.
you all back.
You're right.
The
that's
only
what they all
the
look
only
like.
time I've ever seen that many people wearing black in the same area was after I was at Tom Reed's after the Blink 182 concert.
Oh yeah.
Those people were all at the weed convention as well.
That's
The,
true.
the Blink-182 concert is essentially a big weed convention.
Yeah,
a lot of those
it's
concerts
the same
are.
demo.
That's
Um,
fantastic.
All right, journalist Jake, what do you got for your bit?
I have the pills are good bit. So this
boy.
is in reference to
Gateway
Dumb and
drug.
Dumber. Gateway drug. So you can take this bit literally or figuratively. Maybe you like doing pills and they're just good for you. Maybe you like snorting them, Ritalin. Adderall like I saw at Burnsville High School all the time. But no, in the context that I'm talking about this, in that in the movie, like they're feeding this guy a bunch of pills that are not actually his pills, they're rat poison, and then he starts feeling better, like feeling good, like he made a good decision. And then of course Jim Carrey's character is pills are good, pills are good. So I noticed myself lately, and a couple people I know, like my brother and some of our friends, when we successfully execute like maybe a difficult task, like specifically when we're up in the Boundary Waters and we got the canoe up on top of us despite holding like a 50-pound pack, I'm like, yeah, we got it. Pills are good. Pills are good. Or if we were fishing, we wanted to cast in like a specific spot where we wanted to cast out super far. We got it out there. Like, yes, that's where I was going. Pills are good. Pills are good. So it's very weird, very inside bit, but like if you execute something very well, or like the Vikings get a nice fucking score, but yes, pills are good. Pills are good.
You need medical attention.
Sure, but this is the point of a bit, okay?
It is.
They're fantastic,
Yeah, I
okay?
know.
So pills are good.
It's almost an inside joke. Like, you have to be there.
This is almost the epiphany of like the bit, a bit probably. Like we have some very like basic like bits that I think a lot of people understand. This is like the inside joke bit.
Yeah.
Like very inside. Like pills are good. Like the Twins winning in the playoff game. Like pills are good. Pills are good. Like he throws the strike you wanted him to throw. Like you kind of foreshadow.
It's kind of like Kirk's bit with "You like that,"
Yeah, exactly. You like that.
even though that's way more popular than this.
Pills are good. We
Yeah.
can get it to catch on. Maybe you'll say it. But it's kind of like foreshadowing something in your head how you want it to execute, and it actually executes. Like, yes, pills are good. I don't know why it went back to a Dumb and Dumber bit. Well, it actually makes sense for me. But, like, it's almost like calming. Like, okay, now pills are good because in the scene they're feeding him pills and they think they're the right pills. And he's like, pills are good. People are calmed down. It turns out it was rat poison in the movie and the guy dies. But in this context, it's more positive. So
Yeah.
pills are good, folks. Pills are good.
Yeah.
I don't know why that like started happening, but we started saying it, and it's a bit now, I guess. So,
All right. There you go.
but you can, like I said, take it literally. Actually, maybe snort some pills, and maybe you feel high, and you're like, yeah, pills are fucking good, dude. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, do that at your own risk. We're not encouraging you to do
No.
pills at all.
Not at
But
all.
There it is.
Unless the pills require you to stay alive. Or
Yeah.
they help you
Then-
in some way.
Then
and keep
yes.
taking them.
Yeah, not rat poison like in the movie.
Yeah. All right, I'll take us home here. I have, as I'm fucking putting a paper towel up my nose, I just have the drop the Cologne bit. This is a little more direct than your bit, requires a little less explanation. When I was pissing during the Gopher game, there was a Chad 2 urinals down from me who just dropped like a full bottle of cologne onto the floor, and it went under the guy next to me, and you could tell he was like eyeing it down, like, should I stick my leg under this man's legs while he's urinating to try to bring it back to me? This Chad was very uncomfortable that everyone had just seen that this fucking guy just carries a full bottle of cologne with him to a sporting event.
What a move.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than it was a very embarrassing moment for him, and it was well-deserved, because if you bring a full bottle of cologne to a college football game, you're there for the wrong reasons.
If you bring a full bottle of cologne to a college football game, you deserve to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
There is literally no reason. And here's the thing: like if you want to bring it to the tailgate, bring it to the fucking tailgate. Leave
Sure,
it at the
put a few
tailgate.
sprays on, you might meet some chicks. Cool.
Exactly, but even that's extreme. But if you park your car there, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But don't bring it inside
Yeah,
the
like,
stadium.
what are you going to apply it at halftime?
If you bring
who
a full
here-
bottle of cologne anywhere, you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
And vacation?
Well,
Something fucking.
Unless
with
it's
you.
like, like you said,
To
you
your
keep a
mom's
bottle in
house?
your vehicle in case you forget to put it on.
Yeah.
Sure, there's some reasonable explanations. A fucking college football game, to have it in your pocket with your keys, your wallet, and your phone, you deserve. I really hope that cologne was like $600, and I really wish it would have broken. Although it would have made that your fucking bathroom.
before you leave, all right, let me check, because I know this is the type of the cologne that guy wears. Phone, wallet, keys, Ed Hardy. All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking A. He probably had some backup hair gel with him too.
That's some like
Some horse semen.
that's a very inefficient use of space, because that space could have been used for a flask or like some shooters instead, and you bring in some shitty clone.
I mean,
Come
if this is our fan base as Gopher football fans, we probably don't deserve to have won a championship since Vietnam.
Dude, I get that it's college, and like maybe if you're a college student in the student section, you're trying to hit on a girl. I've never gone to a sporting event and been like, hey, maybe I'm gonna pick up someone today. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I'm gonna
pick up some chicks.
I've had no reason to really smell
I mean,
my best. You know what I'm saying though?
You're in
Like,
college.
If
Dude,
you're a
gives a
single,
shit.
if you're a single guy, it's always in the cards. Hey, maybe I might meet my wife here. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still thinking like that. At 26, hasn't happened yet.
But at the same time, you're not like
I'm not carrying a full fucking bottle of cologne
Exactly,
with me.
yes.
I don't need to try that hard. If you're trying to pick someone up and it's that important, you smell good, then she probably doesn't like you anyways. You don't need that.
And again,
Seems like
all you have to do is just wear deodorant and spray it on before you go there, and you're fine. There's no reason you
No.
should ever need any more than that.
What's the point of nice cologne is it stays on you for a while.
This is
Exactly.
the guy who reeks fucking cologne.
And everyone turns.
And
as he
everyone
walks
knows,
by.
and it's obvious because he brought enough to spray on for an entire fucking speed dating round.
To
So
the point where we needed to bring back the mask mandate just because of fucking,
yeah, seriously, because it would reek so bad.
Yes, it would actually be bad.
But no, I was gonna tell you guys that when I came back up to the seats, but I'm like, that's gonna be my bit.
Yeah, you never did, so that's surprising.
I'm gonna
yeah.
expose this fucking Chad.
Or
And
Bryce.
like I said, yeah, he looked so worried when he dropped it, and I was waiting for him to awkwardly like throw his leg between that dude's legs to try to like weed it back to his area. You could just tell it was a very uncomfortable situation, and he didn't know which way he was going to go with it, what decision he was going to make.
What decision did he make? Did he end up grabbing it, or did you say fuck
I
it?
ended up walking away
Okay.
before there.
You weren't
so-
invested. I
No.
got you.
I
yes.
was watching out of the corner of my eye because if I
Yes.
turn to my left, there's just two male
Dicks,
penises.
yeah.
So I didn't want to get the full view. But all right, that seems like a good place to transition into our interview with Dean Blandino after a quick break.
We are in the heat of football season. Also, we are in the MLB playoffs. So I want to tell you about the easiest way to get some action on the NFL or MLB postseason and even the NHL and NBA coming up. So it's the Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em game. So just pick higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite players' stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Yes, that's 20 times your money. It's insane. Underdog keeps it super simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your Pick'em entry. Get every pick right and take home some cold, hard cash. It's real money, folks. This is real fucking money. So if you use the code 10K10K and get your first and you can get your first deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog. So once a kid, that's code 10K10K on the Underdog app, or go to www.underdogfantasy.com or click the link below to get your first deposit doubled on Underdog today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to It's a Bit. We're joined by a very special guest, good friend of ours, Dean Blandino. He is the rules analyst for NCAA and NFL for Fox TV. And if you've ever watched a game on Fox, whether it's NFL or NCAA, they usually call in Dean when they need the expertise on a controversial penalty call or something that's being challenged. But before we start with some football talk, Dean, I love how it only took you 2 minutes into the show to bring up the champagne incident.
Well, yeah, I didn't get the memo that Jack is now the founder and CEO, and I just feel like that's a really big title, and there's a lot of responsibilities that come with that, and I would think as a founder and CEO, you should be able to open up a bottle of champagne without just spilling it everywhere. But you'll learn. You're a young founder and CEO. That'll come with time.
Yeah, so backstory to that, we were in Las Vegas watching March Madness, hanging out with Dean, and we were at the Circa Swim, great spot. Went upstairs. We were all in his room watching some basketball, drinking some champagne. It wasn't cheap champagne. I still blame you for trusting me to do it. I was probably the youngest guy in the room with the least amount of experience, but like I said, I blame the bottle. So I took the cage off. I unscrewed the cap just one turn, and the thing fucking exploded. Not only exploded in horrific fashion, it went all over Dean's jacket, his nice desk, and his nice room at the Circa. And that's why he brings it up every time. I still owe him at least half a bottle. I think there was half the bottle left though, right?
We can you can pay up at another time. Like I said, founder and CEO, I feel like you're going to have a yacht at some point, and we're going to be popping, whatever the kids are popping now.
Right.
In my day, it was like Cristal. I don't know what it is today.
It's Tots. It's the one that's $4 at the liquor store that they have to put in,
Okay, yeah,
in
sure.
glass
Let's do
containers.
that.
Yeah, yep. That's what we like to do.
Hey, I'm sure we could link up at MSP Airport. I'm sure they have a place where we can get some champagne.
Listen, I'm dead serious. I've got to hit I'm at risk of losing my diamond medallion on Delta.
Oh no.
So I may pretty much 2 or 3 times a week just be flying places. So let's do MSP. Like, I'm serious. We can just do happy hour a couple times a week.
I honestly wish there was a game where you weren't working that's a primetime Viking game that you could come to. Do you go to a lot of games in person? I mean, I know you're at the Fox studio a lot.
No, the one opportunity I would have for that would be if they were on, let's say, a Monday night, obviously, or a Thursday night. Sundays is just I'm in the studio all day. But I got to look at the Viking schedule. I'm sure you guys have it somewhere on the wall somewhere with like smiley faces for what you think's going to win and the sad faces for the losses and the way they're playing, there's a lot of sad faces, but let's do it.
Are you a fan of a particular team? And like, when is the last time you actually went to an NFL game as a fan?
Yeah, that's a great question. I grew up a Giants fan, and I've slowly, both of my sons are Giants fans. And it was funny because we were watching the game last night and that was about, I thought the Cowboys game, on Sunday night, week 1 was bad. And this one, even though the score wasn't as bad, this one felt even worse. And my 8-year-old, at halftime, he declared he was going to go find another team. So yeah,
you should tell. But
the last time I was at a game as a fan, it was probably in the like late 90s.
All right, a week from this coming Monday, the Vikings-Bears Monday Night Football, U.S. Bank Stadium. What about Mondays?
We have a Monday night in November too. Actually, I think the one coming up is the Niners, and then the Bears is in November.
Okay.
I feel like maybe the one in November, the Bears, we got a better chance at a win. And we can.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
Monday, November 27th.
Ooh.
So that's what is that the week of Thanksgiving?
Monday following Thanksgiving.
Following Thanksgiving. Ooh, that could work. I could actually work. Let's pencil that in.
All right, we could even do a little pregame podcast in the studio. We can have you in studio, which I've seen you on Zoom way too many times. I'd like to actually remember that you're a person. I only see you on TV screens, including the Fox broadcast as well as the TV.
I gotta ask you guys something. You see me on TV. I got a tweet, which most of my Twitter is not. People aren't nice, but this guy. This is from Timothy Daddy Beast Mode.
Okay.
He tweeted at Dean Blandino, I gotta watch your fat ass get on TV every 5 plays. How about you explain the effing rig in the Jets game? Show me the hold, and I don't mean the hold of your second dinner tonight, you pig. Do I look fat on TV?
No.
I would say even look more slim on TV.
Right? The angry. It was more like the biggest takeaway I had from that was like, do I need to lose weight? It was upsetting.
I would say, we've seen you in person. I'd say you're in better shape than most people. You do like MMA training, right?
I do a lot. Yeah, I try to do a lot of different types of training. So
yeah, most fat people don't do any training other than how many chicken wings they can house. So I mean,
exactly.
I'd say you're fine.
Yeah. Well, you guys made me feel better now, so thanks.
Yeah. No, what we'll do is we'll when you're in person with us, we'll just take a picture of you and quote tweet that and say try another slant. Is that what people say?
I think so.
Yeah, like try a better insult because this one is not working. So we'll do that too. We'll hit 3 birds with 1 stone now. We'll go to the Vikings game, see them crush the Bears. We'll do the podcast. And we'll get the full body photo, which sounds
and
weird.
we'll get that guy. We'll take that guy down.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was his Twitter name? Because I'm pretty sure his Twitter name says everything we need to know about this dude.
I'm gonna.
Timothy Beast Mode.
It's T Money Daddy Beast Mode.
T Daddy Money Beast Mode. There's no way he's
at T Money Daddy.
There's no way he's either under the age of or over the age of 18. Or there's no way he drives anything but his mom's minivans. So,
or this guy is also severely overweight.
Yeah,
himself. So he's trying to compensate on TV.
He's projecting.
Yes, exactly.
I also love how people still think that like you make the calls, that you're in charge of the ref. You haven't.
Yeah, they still think I'm in charge of officiating.
You haven't been the VP of officiating in what, almost a decade now?
Yeah, it's going on. So 2000. Yeah, 2000. I left in 2017. So it's like going to be 7 years.
Yeah. So people people listening, Dean doesn't rule the refs anymore. He's not that guy.
I think some people, clearly on Twitter, including Team Money, whatever his name is,
Daddy 69 420
Beast Mode. I think he thinks there's some sort of conspiracy, and you're still,
Oh yeah,
controlling the NFL in some way.
The script and the conspiracy, and you are. It's like La Cosa Nostra. You're in for life. Like you're not once you're in the league office and you've been exposed to the script, you're never out.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that's it.
Right.
So I can't really talk more about that, but
Yeah,
it just
fair
is
enough.
what it is.
You could get killed.
No doubt. I've
Probably-
actually said too much. I've said too much.
Well, damn it! I wanted to pry more out of you. I mean, is the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce bit, is that part of the NFL script?
I don't know. All I know is that look, the NFL is definitely leaning into it. It's a great thing, obviously, for ratings, and so I'm not going to sit here and say no.
Yeah.
Just you make up your own mind on that.
As an NFL analyst, would you say the Taylor Swift movement was more impactful or the Toy Story broadcast?
Oh, Taylor Swift for sure.
Yeah.
The Toy Story broadcast was fantastic, but I think the Taylor Swift thing is taking on its life of its own. Travis Kelce, like he picked up like 1 million followers on Instagram. Like it's insane. Like she's such a needle mover right now. It's incredible because the NFL, right? You think the NFL is so popular, and then Taylor Swift comes along, and it's like even bigger numbers. It's incredible.
Well, and the crazy thing too is the Chiefs come into Minnesota this coming Monday, or no, it's
Yeah,
it's
this
a
coming
Sunday.
Sunday.
It's going to be America's game of the week or whatever. Ticket prices are going 3-4 times the amount just because Taylor Swift might be there.
That's
It's
She
bullshit.
hasn't
crazy.
even confirmed it yet.
It's absolutely nuts. Yeah. And I think she is going on tour, like the international part of her tour is in a couple of weeks. So I think she might very well be at the next couple of games.
I think she's actually dating Roger Goodell, and the face of it, the surface of it, is to make it look like she's dating a player. Because I mean, it would be totally unfathomable.
You'll get there.
Amongst the Swifties and fans that she's actually dating Roger Goodell.
That makes sense.
That would be it'd be a story for sure. If Adam Schefter broke that news, I think
Yeah.
that would be pretty big.
And if you think about it, there are better looking NFL players who are reportedly single. I mean, Jimmy G doesn't have a girl, does he?
No.
Like, why would she go after Travis Kelce? He's not even the best looking guy in the league. There's a flaw
Yeah.
there. There's a hole there. They thought, okay, let's pick a Super Bowl winner who's at the forefront of the league. They didn't think, though, there's no way that Taylor Swift would go for anything less than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, I think her first choice was probably obviously Kirk, right?
Oh, I
And
guess, yeah, but he's taken.
He's taken.
Yeah.
He's taken. So now she's on like plan B, plan C, obviously.
Yeah, by the Lord first and Julie second, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
I really do think Aaron Rodgers was targeted in
He
her
was
pursuit.
at her concert this summer, remember? When
Yep.
he was rocking out with Sauce Gardner.
Yep, there was something there, but he might have turned her down. I don't know what happened, but yeah, like you said, she's on the plan C, and Travis Kelce's a part of that, I guess. But it's all part of the script, I think. And Dean, I know you know this, but you obviously can't spill the beans. But
Rogers got a combine invitation.
Yeah.
He
He got a workout invitation.
he did.
Can you imagine if she just had a ton of people at her home gym to just like work out in front of her and like they had to run a 40 and
It's like The Bachelor, but it's the
Yes.
NFL draft. It's essentially a combine, but it's
the Taylor
Bachelor.
Swift dating combine.
Oh gosh, I would love to see that televised. That'd be so funny.
Hey, that's now with I don't know the writer's strike if it's still I think it's still going. They're looking for content. I mean the big right. You've got the Golden Bachelor now. That could be the next iteration.
Yeah, you got a lot of connections out there in LA and Hollywood area. They should just have us be writers. I mean, you've seen some of the work we've put out.
Yeah.
We were thinking about doing a skit where it's like Shark Tank, but a guy is pitching his parlay to his friends. That could be like a show right there.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Gambling friends.
I love that.
That's all
We were
got.
sitting in the studio and
We
we
have
were
more.
trying to do the math. If you put $1,000 on the 12 teams that are in the MLB playoffs, which the Twins now maybe with the Yankees out, the Twins might actually win a game. Did they?
We just did
They
today.
won today.
We
They just
just
won
did
one.
tonight.
They did, right? They
First-
did. They were up. I
First
saw they
time
were
since
up.
we were all children, like 6, 7 years
Exactly.
old.
I saw they were up, and we were trying to figure out the math. If we put 1,000 on every team to win the World Series, where's the line? Like, who we know we would lose a ton of money if the Braves won, but where would we? So that's the type of stuff. It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dean, besides seeing your fat ass every Sunday, the last time I saw you, you were reffing the Barstool beer pong tournament. I just was wondering, what was that experience like? It looked like you were the life of the party, man.
Yeah, the Beer Olympics. So that was Bussin' with the Boys and Taylor Lewan and Will Compton and it was an amazing experience when you realize that here I am. I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be Beer Olympics. We're going to do beer pong and we're going to do flip cup and we're going to do all these things. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And instead, it devolves into George Kittle screaming at me about the beer pong rules and these guys getting ready to fight. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? We're just here to have a little bit of fun. And it was awesome. It was a great time. And, I think that's going to be a yearly thing now for me.
Yeah. And just speaking of Barstool guys, I remember you went on Pardon My Take one time. And the first thing they asked you was so do you just love rules? Do you want to be a cop? And I just remember every time I see you now, I just think of that. I'm like, should I ask him if he wants to be a cop?
No, it's funny is that I never I'm not like that. I never was interested. I wasn't interested in officiating. I wasn't like the hall monitor growing up. I wasn't the kid in school that if the teacher didn't give us homework, I would say, hey, you forgot to give us homework. That was not me. But I just and we've talked about my story. I just got an internship at the NFL in the officiating department and just it kind of chose me and it became a career path. And now I get to come on TV 2 or 3 times a game and point out fairly obvious things that everybody else can see and get paid for it. So it's awesome.
My favorite thing to do with Dean is last year on the Christmas Eve game, the whiteout against the Giants. I think it was Hawkinson's first touchdown. They were questioning whether both of his feet were in. And it was hard to tell because of the damn white lines, the white shoes. It was really
the whiteout end
That's
zone,
the one thing they screwed up with that whole thing. But that's another discussion. But I remember Dean was like, I believe it is a touchdown. And I texted him, and I'm like, hell yeah, that was a touchdown. Good call, Dean. And he's like, thank you. But it's just it's just funny that I can just do that now. I can just say, yeah, you did a good job. You made the right call. Because I think when you come on the screen, people are just praying that you say what goes in their favor. And if you do, you're their hero. But if they don't, they tweet at you and they call you fat.
100%.
So it's just funny how much of a hero or villain you can be for each fan base.
Absolutely. If I say it's gonna go for their team, then they love me. If it's gonna go against their team, they hate me. So yeah, 100%.
Well, I know particularly you put out a very fully analytical video on the Giants, or not the Giants, Sauce Gardner's hold. And everybody was just shitting on you that were clearly who were they playing again? The Jets were playing
the Chiefs. Was that last?
The Chiefs.
Chiefs. That was
2 nights ago.
That was Monday night.
Yeah.
That was Monday night.
Yeah, and they called the hold against the Jets, right? Or no, was it against Sauce
Sunday
Gardner?
night. It was Sunday night.
Yeah, it was against Sauce Gardner on the Chiefs, and all these Jets fans were just shitting on you. And I'm like, that's just it's a clear. You're just simply making an observation from a strictly rules perspective. And it was a clear hold from my perspective, but all these Jets fans were just shitting on you. Oh my God!
Yep, absolutely. And that video did a lot. I mean, it was 1 million views because that was such a big play. And Jets fans, and I love Jets fans. I grew up in New York. I'm a Giants fan, but Jets fans, I feel for them. Imagine being a Jets fan, and you have the longest current playoff drought. You haven't won a Super Bowl since 1969, and you finally get Aaron Rodgers, and you have all this hope, and it just literally crumbles in the first 8 minutes of that game. Jet fans, I will always have a soft spot for them.
I think we got robbed of such a great story, not only because of Hard Knocks, the way they pumped it up all summer. It was the typical turn on SportsCenter on a random Saturday in July. They talk about the Jets for 8 hours and all their flaws and all this. But also, how many good primetime games they had in their schedule, including the one on Sunday. It really sucks that we didn't get to see a shootout between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, or Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen on that first night, even though Zach Wilson's been, I would say, better than most backups. But, yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, they've obviously won a Super Bowl, which is cool. We can't say that here in Minnesota. But I mean, yeah, to invest everything in Rodgers and to have that happen, I feel like even the general football population was robbed of some really great stories. So it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, if I were still involved in writing the script,
Yeah.
what I would say, the Jets kind of tread water, and then he makes a miraculous comeback late in the season, leads them to the playoffs, and they win the Super Bowl. That if I was writing the script.
And instead of running out with an American flag, he runs out with an NFL flag to praise the script.
And with
Leave
Rob
Goodell.
Lowe wearing the NFL
Yes.
hat.
Yep.
That's 100%.
What were we talking about, Zane? We were at the Chargers game, and was it at that game we were actually complimenting like the NFL hats or something?
Those ugly ones where it's half the logo and the other half is the NFL.
No.
I hate those.
Someone
freaking
actually
hats.
had just a sick generic NFL hat.
It was
if I
like
recall
white
correctly. Yes.
And we're sitting there like, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a pretty sick hat. We're like, I feel like Rob Lowe right now, and we're complimenting like these refs.
Yeah,
hats.
there's actually some nice NFL, straight up NFL gear. Like there's some good stuff. You do, it's a little bit weird,
Yeah.
like to be walking around with it, but there's some cool stuff.
Do you still own any of it? Could we find any of it in your closet?
I probably have given away most of, like, you get a ton of stuff, like you go to meetings and they give you like, duffel bags and hats and things, and it's all just the shield. It's all just the NFL.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. I could probably find something, but I don't know. Not as much as I used to.
If you're trying to dump generic NFL merch,
Yes.
I think we're your guys. If you just want to send it our way, go.
Yeah,
for
we
it.
could do
Sign it.
We could do some bits with that when the refs call something in the Vikings' favor. We can be like, we wrote the script. We know the guy.
I think it would be awesome. They might have one somewhere, a custom jersey, like just NFL white generic, like it's in the style of a football jersey, but it says NFL on it. I think we should have like a signing like we do at Elite Inc. for our athletes, but for like Dean Blandino.
Yep.
Dean Blandino signing for NFL
Oh
merch.
yeah, you could have people from the league. You'd be like, oh, here's the head of marketing,
Yeah.
and they come in and they're signing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or even like, I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but every head ref that calls penalties, I feel like we've seen those guys since we were kids. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of them, and you could probably attest to that, a lot of those head refs have been in the league for decades. I would actually take one of those guys' autographs. That's how many times they've been on my TV. I respect them that much. So let's set it up.
Yeah, I think some of the head referees are usually more experienced, and they work their way, and they have been. A lot of them have been around a while. It's like when I was growing up, and there was like Jerry Markbright and Red Cashin and Johnny Greer and guys you'd see every Sunday. You'd be like, oh, now like that person becomes almost like a celebrity.
Yeah.
Dean, I got a rule-specific question here, and I guess it's more of your opinion on a rule. If you remember the Vikings-Philly game, week 2, Justin Jefferson dropped the ball in the Eagles' end zone. That counts as a touchback for the Eagles ball. I just want to know what your thoughts are on that rule and if you think it should change or if you like the rule.
Sure, I do like the rule. I do think the goal line in the end zone is different, and if you fumble the ball, there should be a severe penalty. I know a lot of people don't like that rule, especially if the defense doesn't recover and the ball goes out of bounds through the end zone. It's a touchback. We actually did change the rule for the XFL season in the spring, and it only happened one time. And we brought it back to the spot of the fumble, and everybody freaked out. They're like, why isn't that a touchback? I was like, well, because you don't like the touchback. And everybody was like, no, we do like the touchback. So I think when it happens against your team, you hate it. I think if that had been the other way around, then you love the rule. So
Yeah.
I like the rule. I like its consistency with the other balls that are put into the end zone. And I just think that the ball security is really important near the goal line.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of Vikings fans obviously want to hear more about that, but they're obviously upset about it because it happened to us. But I think a lot of the people that were on the extreme side, Vikings fans that were screaming that it should have been a touchdown, I think is absolutely ridiculous because then you just see people chucking the ball into the end zone. But I think it definitely could have went a way where it's almost works as like when a kicker kicks it out of bounds on a kickoff, like it's a penalty, and maybe
move it
back, or maybe it's a 15-yard penalty from where they hiked the ball on the play. I mean that could equally work, but I think the idea that was the first time I witnessed that. I think it's definitely happened in our lifetime.
Sure,
but I think just seeing it happen and then just flat out giving the ball to the other team was just shocking. It's like, what? It doesn't seem right, but I get it. Like the way you're explaining it, it just was a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that. Maybe making it like you get the ball, the offense keeps it, but they get the ball at their own 20 versus the defense getting it. So I think there's things you can do. It doesn't happen all that often.
Yeah, and that's probably one of those rules, right, where there's no right answer per se. Like, whoever fumbled it is going to be mad that it's a touchback, and whoever,
Oh, bless
thee.
you got pollen allergies out there, Dino? Probably not.
Does pollen exist?
I'm not. No, I never really had allergies.
Oh,
It's
I'm
just
getting
not.
murdered by them right now. If you
Are
can't
ya?
tell in my voice.
It's been in the mid 80s, I want to say the last week or so in Minnesota. It's normally not like this in October.
No.
Yeah, that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah,
Ah,
it's
that
in the
sucks.
50s, like northern Minnesota, but down here it's still.
This is terrible.
crazy.
I don't even remember what I was going to ask you. I just sneezed
You're
fucking
talking
hard.
about the rule, and
Yeah.
there's no right
Oh
answer.
yeah. Like
yeah.
obviously, if you're the team who forced the fumble, you'd be mad. You'd be mad if the ball is on the one. So that's, I suppose, where it was tricky. Has there been any rule changes that the NFL's made that have been a disaster this year, or that have not been going well in terms of?
No, I don't think so. I think the big thing, they made the change on the fair catch on the kickoff that you would get it at the 25. The kickoff returns are down significantly. And it hasn't all been to do with just that, the fair catches. So there really hasn't been a rule that has crashed and burned. I just do think the kickoff return is something to watch for. And then, the push play, right? There's so much around the Eagles push play and other teams now. The Giants did it last night and 2 players got injured. And so I think that's something the league will continue to look at, but I don't think there's anything that just isn't working right now.
What are your thoughts on the fair catch rule? Do you like it or not really?
I don't love it. I like the kick return. I like figuring out a way to keep it in the game. It's so low. I mean, going into the weekend, it was, I think, 15% of kicks were returned, which would be the lowest ever by a wide margin. Mm-hmm. And so I know it has to do with health and safety, and you get more injuries on the kick return, but then, eventually they're just going to say, we're going to get rid of the play and put the ball on the 25 and go. And it does suck when, the whole stadium's all hyped and everybody's fired up, and then you kick off and it's a touchback. And so.
It is just a big waste of time. If you think about how many touchbacks we all watch a season, it's just a big waste of time.
Yeah, I had no clue that it was only 15% of kickoffs are getting returned these days. You're right. At this point, just take out the play.
But even if they do, they're so deep in the end zone that they rarely ever get to the 20. Like,
exactly.
it's rarely never even worth it. Like, because you start at the 25 with a touchback, right?
Yep. Kickers are getting stronger.
It makes more sense to just let it go in the end zone.
That's why when they're fielding the ball, unless you've got a returner that's just really good, they're not. And I'm looking at it now. It's after week 4, it's up to 17%, which the record low was 36% for a season. So we're half of that right now. A little less than half, which is crazy.
Well, are there any particular rules that you would like to see the NFL implement? Maybe that have been implemented in the XFL, or that were maybe talked about at the NFL meetings in the off season? Is there anything you would like to see implemented?
Well, staying on the kickoff, I love the XFL kickoff. I mean, 90% of kicks were returned, and it eliminates some of the things that make the traditional kickoff more of a high risk play with the less run ups. You got less space, so I like that. I like not that. I think replay is good. I think we may go a little bit too far with replay sometimes, but just having the ability to correct an obvious mistake, if it's, if they call a face mask and it's clearly not, and everybody can see it, replay can help with that. So allowing replay to correct some obvious mistakes in some significant situations would be good. But, overall, I think the NFL rules are great. I think the game is in a good place. And so I wouldn't change a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember during the LA Chargers game, Zane and I were there, and there was forward progress called. Alexander Madison essentially fumbled the ball like maybe a millisecond after the whistle was called. And Matt Staley, is he the coach for
Brandon
Staley for the Chargers? He challenged the fumble. And I'm like, wait, you can't challenge forward progress. And they go through the whole challenge process to finally say forward progress was instilled on the play, whereas last year during like the Colts-Vikings game, I remember there's a particular play where KOC wanted to challenge the forward progress when there was a fumble, and they said, nope, we can't review it. You can't challenge forward progress. They came out and said that after they went through a full review and wasted 5 minutes of our time. But I'm like, why? So I guess you can't challenge forward progress, right? Like
you normally you can't. The only exception would be if the ball comes out immediately. Like, let's say Madison, they ruled progress, but the moment he got hit, the ball came out. So there was no chance that he was driven back. That's the only way you could review it. And that obviously wasn't the case on that play.
Yeah.
So they were gonna lose the challenge, but you can review it in that one specific instance if the ball comes out immediately upon the first contact.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like one of two really stupid ideas of Brandon Staley that game, next to going for it on 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter.
Oh my gosh, he's done it 2 weeks in a row and gets bailed out by the defense. 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
You know?
Somehow they find a way to get those wins. But if we had critical coaching errors like that, it would never happen. Going back to the fumble, though, Dean, and the conspiracies of the script, we came up with this little concept when we were drunk after the Philly game called Buttergate. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the team actually manages their own footballs, right? So like a staff member for the Vikings brings the footballs, they hand them to the quarterback or the refs, whatever. We have this theory that there's an inside horse working for the Vikings in the ballroom, if that's what it's called. And they're spraying the balls with cooking oil. They're lathering them up with butter. We've said Land O'Lakes, the butter distributor and main sponsor for the Vikings, is on the hot seat. Have you ever heard any rumblings of a team purposely greasing their balls? Because we've had 12 fucking turnovers in 4 games.
Mostly
Yes.
fumbles.
Have you ever seen stats like that? I think there's foul play. I want to get your thoughts.
It's pretty incredible, and maybe that's the only way to explain it is the butter theory that you guys. I hadn't given that much thought, but it definitely makes sense that butter is a slippery substance.
Yeah.
You typically use that in cooking, but you could also, if somebody is a larger person and they're trying to squeeze into a small space, you could butter them up. So it makes sense what you guys are saying. I think you should run with that. I think you should really investigate it more.
Yeah, it sounds like we have a mole in the organization, whether he's owner of the Packers and has his little
yeah, he
paper,
could be an owner,
or it's someone as high as that we would never expect, like Kirk Cousins. Maybe he wants to have this team
get traded so he can go win a Super Bowl.
Wow, he's
with the
trying
team.
he's sabotaged.
Yes.
Maybe he wants to go to New York and be the savior for the Jets.
Yeah.
Since Rodgers left. Interesting.
But he can't play bad because then he won't get traded to that good team. So he has to run a thin line there.
He has to ball out while having his team
fumble.
Suck.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Right, and sometimes it's even him that fumbles. Well, that's because of the offensive line, but
We'll ask Kirk
Buttergate
himself
though.
next time.
Keep that in mind. Next time you're on the broadcast and we're talking about a fumble, you should say
I've been involved in a bunch of gates, Spygate, Deflategate, but
Yep.
Buttergate was not one that was on my radar, but now it definitely will be. I'm gonna really start looking into that.
Well, people, think of Deflategate and enhancing the football to help your team. We've never thought about, an inside horse messing with the footballs to hurt a team. So it's just something to keep in mind.
I think the next time you're called upon on television to maybe discuss
Rule of Vikings fumble, which will probably happen Sunday.
Yes, probably happen, or whatever broadcast you're doing, and you're brought on to analyze a potential fumble under review, you should throw in the word Buttergate in any way you can into the broadcast. We're appropriate.
This is strange. It's like the ball just slipped out of his hands, almost like it was covered in butter.
Right. Right.
Buttergate is happening here.
Yeah.
You should try to throw that in.
Yeah.
Hey, Dean, I was wondering your thoughts on the XFL USFL merger, and how much is the XFL going to change because of this?
Yeah, right now I don't know a ton. I just know that the merger is happening. They're working it out. I guess there's a lot of legal stuff that involves with a merger like that with two entities. I wouldn't anticipate the rules there were some differences, and I think we'll work through all of that. Obviously, it's going to look different from a branding perspective. It's going to have a different name. It's going to have, but I don't know a ton. I just know that they're kind of working through it, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Do you think this merger will be a good thing in the end?
I do. I think for it to be sustainable, you need one league, and I think it can, if we can create a relationship with the NFL and be able to develop players, not just players but coaches, officials, everybody. I think it could really last, and I think with two leagues, it was just, they were going to kind of cannibalize each other, and we may end up with no spring football. So I think for the long term sustainability, I think this is the right move.
Has the PIF ever tried to invest in football? This seems like something that they could have done themselves. I know it probably didn't happen, but have the Saudis ever tried to get involved with your league, or? No,
not that I'm aware of. I don't know all the financial details. Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would. Obviously there's a lot of funding
they got
they have. So it would be interesting.
Is everything still on track for the season then to kick off in spring? Like we shouldn't expect any delays.
I think it's going to happen in the spring. I don't know if that's February or April, or I don't know that, but I think 2024 spring, it's on track right now. I don't know all the details though.
I think we should just create a relegation system.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We've talked about this a ton of times on this show. How cool would it be if the XFL and the merger of the USFL were like the minor leagues of the NFL, and you could call players up and down the way you do in like hockey and baseball. And then if you're bad enough, like, fuck it, let's relegate the Chicago Bears. Like, why not?
They're going to go be playing the Atlanta Battlehawks next year. That'd be
St. Louis
Battlehawks. Great attendance
but
at those
relegation
games,
is crazy when you think about that, but it makes a ton of sense. Like, what better incentive to put resources into your club so that you don't go down a level or to get to the next level? I'm just not sure if that will ever happen, because obviously our sports, it's all established, and that would be crazy though.
Yeah, but relegation would completely end tanking too, which I think a majority of NFL fans would love to see the end of tanking.
But some don't. You go to Twitter and you
Vikings
see all the
fans
idiots
right now.
Tank
They're
for this
tank
person,
for Caleb,
right?
Collabs for Caleb.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm a Bears fan, think about the Bears. They've got the Panthers' first round pick too, and if the Bears end up with the first two picks in the draft next year, and you take Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr., like, you immediately change your franchise in one draft. So, it's crazy.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I think they'd be the first ever team to have 1-2, right? I don't think that's ever happened.
I don't think that's ever happened. No, I don't think that's ever happened.
Well, it's good to have goals, right? For the Bears, they're in that point of the organization. Right when you think it couldn't get worse for them, it did. It absolutely did.
Well, I mean, you knew this was going to happen. I mean, this is in the script.
Well, he hasn't written the script though in a while, but he might have seen it.
I still get it. Okay. They still send out a copy.
They still CC you on it.
I get it. I get it FedEx to me, and then it self detonates after I open it. I read it, and then it blows up, and so I can't.
Yeah.
And then there's some sort of written agreement that if you
if you
disclose
Calvin
it,
or if you Calvin.
Oh no, they hold my mom hostage, and so I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I ever said anything, then mom's gone. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah, the Saudis
Roger Goodell's
we know
got
the
your
Saudis
mom.
are behind that.
Yeah.
we have to question that part. They're behind.
Roger Goodell is
the
definitely.
script.
He's working with the Saudis.
Yeah.
Dirty oil and money.
Yeah.
But we don't want to hear what is going to happen with the Vikings. We probably already know what's going to happen. So.
If you were to
guess, that's the beauty of being a Vikings fan, is that it's gonna be something amazingly terrible.
Yeah, we know the script in that sense.
You just want to be like, oh wow, how are they gonna kill off my favorite character, in this movie? And it's like, and then when they blow you away, they're like, oh, that's how it's gonna happen. Like, okay.
Yeah, how are they gonna screw us over this year?
Yeah. We're gonna miss the 23-yard field goal, to win the game against Seattle, that type of thing.
Can you imagine being a Jets fan, right? Like, imagine, like, it's Star Wars, and the first Star Wars movie kicks off, and Luke Skywalker gets murdered in, like, the first 10 seconds of the movie, which some movies, I guess, do start with kind of a twist. I mean, I guess
that's what it feels like. That's like Game of Thrones. They weren't scared of killing off main characters.
That's true.
That's
a great point. Are you a big Thrones guy?
Oh yeah, I'm
what's
a huge
your
Game of Thrones. I read the books. I'm still I'm struggling a little bit because, you know, I'm such a big fan of the books, and we literally have not had a new book since 2012.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been teasing it forever too.
Forever. And he's doing, and I'm not one, like, I'm like, fine. Like, I'm not, people like tweeted him and they're like, stop doing these other things. Like, I get it, you have a life, but I'm like, dude, it's going on like almost 12 years now. Like, come on. Like, I want to know what happens to, you know, Jon Snow. I want to know what happens to these. The series is over. That's not, you know, that's different. I just need to know. Come on.
Yeah, it'll probably come out around the same time that Grand Theft Auto 6 will come out, which we've been waiting on for about a decade as well.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything on it. I'm getting pissed.
Yeah.
I need to escape this world.
I need to kill hookers and steal money
But in the game.
in the game.
And
In the
live
game.
vicariously.
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
yes, in the game.
That's how you get all your intrusive thoughts out is you just play Grand Theft Auto.
See, well, I do
hit a
it.
ton of
I used
people.
to be a big GTA guy, but I don't play anymore. But now I'm like, I'm like Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh.
Like that's my
right.
my escape.
Yeah.
I go around and just.
Isn't that the newest one?
It's the newest one. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
What
It's
do you
awesome.
what do you play it
Fantastic.
on?
Switch, right?
Switch?
On the Switch.
Okay.
On the Switch.
I gotta get a Switch, dude. They
I know,
look
me
so
too.
fun.
They do look
My
fun.
brother has one, and they're fantastic. I gotta get my hands on another Mario Party game.
Give me that.
Oh, yeah.
Give me that.
Or
Those
even
games-
Mario Kart Double Dash.
Mario Kart,
Mario
Kart,
Sunshine.
Yes,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, that's all I play. I don't. My son has a PS5. I don't play. I just play the Switch. I just
Keep it
stick to
simple.
my Mario games and Zelda.
How many times did you beat Ocarina of Time?
Oh yeah, I mean all the like a million,
Yes.
like all those games. Yeah.
One of the best video games of all time.
There you
No
go.
doubt.
Party
Something
Vikings.
Ocarina of
Calm
Time.
down, Jake.
I mean, the soundtrack is fantastic.
Did you guys have any other questions for Dean?
I guess my final question would be just: do you have any thoughts on the Vikings? They're 1-3 right now. Do you think they can turn it around, or what?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because look, last year, like it wasn't sustainable to win games the way, you know, what were they, like 11-0 and one score games? Like you knew that was going to be impossible to duplicate. And we're seeing like this year, we're not having that same, not to say it was all luck, but they're you know, 11-0 and one score games, you're going to have to get a little bit of luck. So you still look offensively, is what's happening with Cam Akers? Are they playing
He
him?
played
What's the deal
last
there?
week, and
He looked
actually,
okay, yeah.
it seemed to jumpstart a running game. It definitely did.
Right?
Yeah.
And I thought Madison ran better.
He
I
did.
just Kirk, I really like Kirk. I loved watching quarterback. I loved the whole thing. I just feel like he doesn't, I don't know, there's like a presence that like a Mahomes has in the pocket, and they feel the pressure and they know what, and Kirk, sometimes I'm like, God, like get out of the pocket or you know, like he just holds on to the ball so long and then throws a pick. I really like him, but I'm just not sure if he's the guy to take it to the next level.
Yeah, well, and watching quarterback too, it seemed like Patrick Mahomes in the clutch moments was so loose, and it looked like Kirk just put so much pressure on himself.
Pressure,
yes,
yeah.
And he has like literal, I think, pressure in that he does not. I feel like his offensive line isn't as protective as they could be too, and he becomes like a beaten puppy back there. You know, getting drilled all the time. You know.
Yeah,
Pressured.
scared to make a mistake, and then you end up making mistakes. And you watch Mahomes, and he is like in those moments, he's so like it seems like he doesn't have a care in the world, and he just makes it happen. So, but obviously you have, you know, the Vikings. They've got the best receiver on the planet. I don't think anybody can debate that. I don't care who you say. But it's still a winnable division. I don't know, like, you know, are you all in? Do you think the Lions aren't going to at some point be the Lions again? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's even more predictable than the Vikings being the Vikings, right? Like the Lions,
Exactly.
the Lions lion a lot harder than the Vikings viking, I think. So
Exactly.
They are due for a good 6-game drought that'll put us back in the running, but yeah, you never know.
They're the Lions. I mean, we as Vikings fans, I think, bitch a lot, but like the Lions fans.
Oh, they've had it so much worse.
So much
They've had
worse.
Hey, at least they
So
have like
much worse
they have the
they've had
Red
it.
Wings, and the Pistons have won at least, though. You know.
Yeah,
like,
when you
I would
narrow it to
still
the
say,
Lions,
I know that the Vikings haven't been to a Super Bowl since before we were born. I know that they haven't made it to the Super Bowl since before we were born. But I would still say it's got to be worse to be an Atlanta Falcons fan, to have that lead at halftime. I know the Gary Anderson thing was bad, but like I think there's no getting over that ever as a fan. If you were able to taste it, and then you just blew it colossally. So I don't know. I still think it's better to be a Minnesota sports fan than many other fan bases.
I mean, the Bills, 4 Super Bowls. I mean, imagine being a Bills fan during that time.
In a row.
That would be crazy.
I can't.
That would have been brutal. But isn't Minnesota? If you combine the city's professional franchises, don't they have like the it's like not good.
Yeah, it's bad.
Right?
Is it currently the longest in North American sports?
Yeah. Amongst cities that have all 4 major sports teams, we have the longest drought of not even making it to a final round. It's like 51 years combined seasons in the playoffs, and the team behind us, I forgot what city it was, is like 30 combined seasons in the last 3 years.
And the Timberwolves, there's a stat around the Wolves, right? They're the worst.
They're the worst franchise in professional sports.
In terms of winning percentage?
Winning percentage.
But that might be
different. We've had a good few seasons, but they
they've been better, and obviously I think there's some hope there with the Timberwolves.
And the Twins just finally broke it, but they had the longest playoff losing streak.
There was a graphic. So longest playoff losing streaks in pro sports. The Wolves still hold it at 18, or the Twins held it at 18 from 2004 to 2023. 16, the Chicago Blackhawks from 75 to 79. The Pistons, 2008 to present, so they're kind of in a similar. Okay. They won't be back in the playoffs for, I think, a while anyways. And then the LA Kings, 93 to 2001. They had a pretty rough stretch at 14. So I hope someone else is able to beat that, but right now the Twins will still hold the longest playoff losing streak in history.
Hey, we're number 1 in something, and that counts.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see if we can win a series.
Yep.
Series.
Yep. That's what I said. We got the monkey off our back. We've finally broken the streak, and now it's the World Series or bust. That's it.
No, the season's already a success. Anything after.
Actually, that's a good point. We're probably just happy that that's over, but
Yeah, exactly right.
It is tough,
but it is weird to know we can win a series tomorrow or today if you're listening to it at Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's weird to think about. Honestly, as a Minnesota fan, it really is.
Well, Dean, we appreciate you as always coming on, man. And
of course.
We hope, as well as I guarantee a lot of our listeners hope, that we can see you in U.S. Bank here in about a month or so. Maybe
we'll keep that in mind. I'll look at the schedule. Hopefully we can make that happen. That'd be awesome.
Boots on the ground, the Fox. You could do even like a little bit of reporting there. Even though ESPN broadcasts the game.
Yeah, meet up at MSP, grab some beers before.
Yep.
And then head over.
Pre-game at MSP. That's not a bad idea.
It's a good bit.
People talk about how busy the tailgate lots are in the Longhouse. There's not a lot of people at MSP before a Vikings game.
I don't think there's anybody tailgating.
Yeah.
We have it all to ourselves. We can figure out best place.
Oh. Yeah, we can bar hop a few.
We could tailgate in the MSP parking ramp.
Yes, that. Well, we can bar hop a few places in MSP, and we can end it at Chili's. The MSP Chili's.
Yep.
Nice.
Head over.
All right.
Tied one
I'm
off
in.
Before,
They got some margaritas or something there. It's fun. It's a good spot.
Sweet. All right, Dean. Well, thanks as always, man. We appreciate it. If you guys know us, you know that we'll be betting on hockey, basketball. We're in the sports paradigm. It's all pretty much back. And if you're wondering how we're legally placing bets in the state of Minnesota, you know we're using the Better Edge app. Better Edge is a legal online social betting marketplace that allows you to post and engage with other sports betting fans like us. Place no commission positions in an online marketplace. They're not taking any of your money. You can compete in public or private betting competitions, compete in direct head-to-head challenges with horrible bettors like us. You just send us a direct head-to-head challenge, and we'll either accept or decline it. And finally, you can do all this buying or selling positions such as the spread over under money line at current market prices. So if you want to get started, use promo code 10K at betteredge.com to get a free $20 when you sign up and verify your ID. Once again, that's code 10K at betteredge.com to get a free $20. All right, welcome back to It's a Bit, folks. Like we said, we do want to see Dean Blandino at U.S. Bank Stadium. He probably has never been there. So tweet at him. Say, we'd really love you to come to the Vikings game. I think it's at Dean Blandino NFL. Is that his Twitter? Can someone confirm?
Jake, confirm that.
He's on Instagram as well. But
Blandino.
tweet at him that you heard there's a chance he's coming to the Bears Monday Night Football game and you'd love to meet him. And if you do that, then we'll make sure he gets to meet you. He's a great guy. He's a
Oh,
you
he's
know,
a great person to be
if you're
around.
if you're a big fan of football, you know who he is, and you probably look up to him because he helps break down very complex plays into ways that idiots like us can understand.
At Dean Blandino straight up on Twitter.
Tell him we
On
want to
X.
see you at the Monday Night Football game in November. #Skull.
Well, and here's the thing, too. The amount of influence he has over football is huge. He's the head of officiating of the XFL, and a lot of the stuff that the XFL does, the NFL looks at as potentially thrown into the rules. So
Yeah.
if you have any crazy ideas that you think might make the game of football better, pitch him to Dino.
Yeah, and he was the VP of officiating for the NFL for years, going back to 7 years ago. He said so. He's still fresh, but he's cool. He's fun too. At the same time, he's the exact type of NFL guy you'd want to know. But to close out the show, we're going to play Wags' game 15 questions. So I'll hand it to you, Wags. You got the leaderboard, right?
I do have the leaderboard. So so far, since we started actually counting these, I have Jack has 2 wins, Jake has 2 wins, and Cam has 0 wins. However, Cam was the preseason champ the 2 years we had preseason. So for those of you who don't know what 15 questions is, it's essentially a head-to-head version of 20 questions. We got 5 rounds, 3 participants. That's why it's called 15 questions. You cannot guess in the first round, and if no one gets it after the 15 questions, we have a 60-second rapid-fire overtime round where anyone can try to budge in and get the right answer. You guys know how to play? Are you guys ready to play?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Awesome. So
Always.
the very first topic I have are birthdays on this day the podcast is released, which is October 4th. We'll go Cam, Jack, Jake.
Is this an athlete?
Yes.
We're also 2 days away from what's it called? Love Boat.
Oh, I didn't even remember that. It has nothing to do with that.
October
so.
6th, I think. Sorry. Birthdays. Is it? You said is it a person?
It's
Says
an athlete. I said
An
yes.
Of course
athlete.
it's a person.
Well, it could be a dog.
Yeah, you're right.
When was Hattie born? Let's ask what sport did this athlete play?
Basketball.
Okay. Is this a current player?
Yes, he's currently in the NBA.
Jesus.
Is it Anthony Edwards?
It's not Anthony Edwards.
What team does this person play for?
Currently?
Yeah.
Memphis.
Oh.
Oh, I got it.
Shit, what was his name? I forgot his fucking name.
I got it.
Is it, I'm blanking on his name. Is he, I gotta ask a question, just, has he been in the NBA for more than 5 years?
Yes.
Is it Tyus Jones?
It's not Tyus Jones.
What?
Is it Ja Morant?
It's not Ja
I don't think
Morant.
has he been in the league for 5 years?
No.
No, see,
Fuck
that's the
me.
thing. Oh, man, that's it for me.
Pew, pew.
Well, you can ask more questions for.
Oh, this is in my wheelhouse then.
No, this isn't
You
your
guys are
wheelhouse.
out of players?
Yeah, I'm out of
Oh
players.
yeah.
Let's
I'm,
go.
I'm very out of players.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to choose a player that you guys wouldn't know, so just remember that.
Well, don't say
So
that.
yeah, so you're gonna ask more questions to help you get more hints. I mean, maybe you don't even know if this person is with
fuck.
the Memphis Grizzlies right now.
I think
You know.
I do know who this person is.
So Jake, you're up.
Jacob.
What college did he play for?
Memphis.
Memphis U?
Memphis Tigers.
Oh, Cam.
Oh, this is Derrick Rose.
It's Derrick Rose. Ding, ding, ding.
He's
ding,
still in the
ding,
league?
ding. He's still in the
Yeah.
league. He
Holy
signed
shit.
with
I
Memphis.
didn't know
Yes.
that.
Fuck you and
Didn't
your
know that.
aggressive basketball knowledge.
That's why when he joined the team with John Morant, they are now Guns N' Roses.
I forgot he was still playing. I didn't know.
Right.
Okay.
So again,
Okay.
first
I like
remember
that.
when it comes to this, I'm gonna do an answer that everyone should know. Okay?
No, that's totally fine. That was my fault. I did not know he was still in the league.
As soon as you said Memphis, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
duh.
I know for Cam, as soon as he knows the college.
Well,
he's
I was
good to
gonna
go.
guess
I knew
Malik
Derrick Rose
Beasley,
played
but
for
is he even
Memphis
with
Tigers.
Memphis?
I don't even know it,
No,
dude.
but when you said Memphis, my mind went to James Wiseman. I'm like, he doesn't play for Memphis. So
Yeah.
then we're
Okay.
good.
Next
D-Rose.
up, we'll go. The order will be Jack, Jake, Cam. The topic is baseball.
Baseball, is it a player?
No.
Is it a team?
No.
Is it a piece of equipment?
No.
Is it a stadium?
No.
Is it a league?
No.
Is it a manager?
No.
Is it the World Series?
It's not.
Thought you were gonna be like, yes,
Yes.
because the Twins are going there.
Is it the wild card series?
It's not.
Oh God, now we're.
I don't
you guys
know.
You guys are already reaching for round
Is
2
it-
or round 3.
Is it Dick Bramer?
It's not Dick Bramer.
Is it like someone in the media?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it Tom Brenneman? Tom Brenneman.
JJ.
baseball. It's not equipment. Is it a pitcher's mound?
No, it's not. It's not. I'm just saying that's a better guess than that's been
Such an
happening.
aggressive guess.
That's
so
a good. That's a better guess.
Pitcher's mouth.
Is it like?
Didn't we do the rosin bag one time?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, I did the actual baseball
Oh,
itself,
yeah.
and you guys couldn't even guess that.
Is it something that happens in a game?
No, it doesn't. But it's definitely like when you get to the answer, you'll be like, oh fuck, yeah, no shit. So yeah, but it doesn't happen during a game.
Oh, it doesn't happen during a game.
Yeah, no. The way he asked it, like the way that like does it happen during a game? Like if someone were to ask me that regarding this topic, I'd no. Like it's hard to explain. Was that was the 5th round actually, right? One, two. No, that was 4. That was 4.
It was 4.
I was gonna say.
So if I were you, just say yeah. Don't ask a question. Just take a guess, and then we'll go into the rapid fire.
I think I got it.
You say that
no
every
way
time.
you have it.
Because I try to get in their heads, you know.
Is it Minnie and Paul shaking hands?
That'd be great. It's not.
Royce Lewis twice today. 3 times for the win. 3 times. 3 handshakes.
Is it
Guess the rosin
the
bag.
bullpen?
It's not the bullpen.
It's the arm barn, Jake. Get it right.
the arm bar.
It's my last guess, right?
Yep.
Is it an umpire?
It's the umpires.
Oh.
Ding, 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 ding,
See, I
ding.
was right.
Yeah, so you were right, Cam.
I
Congratulations.
was on the right track, sort of, in that thinking outside.
Camp, fuck
Yeah, no,
you
that's
and
why
your
I said
knowledge
that
of
was a good
baseball as
guess.
well.
Damn it!
No,
Damn it!
So,
I'm back.
Can we do TV shows,
No.
movies?
so I have a question for you guys, so I can do better answers. Would this have helped? Because we were about to go into like the rapid fire overtime round. I would my hint to you guys would have been like, it's integral to the game of baseball. Would that have helped
Yeah.
or no?
Yeah,
Sure.
we also could have guessed, is this something on the field? Because that would have been a yes.
Yes, that would have been
And it's
yes.
like that
That was
eliminates.
a very smart answer when I asked if it's something that happens during a game, because like the term umpire does not actually happen during a game.
Exactly,
Right.
right? So
Smart.
I didn't know
And
how
I was
to
gonna,
do that.
I was gonna say maybe
Present.
it's the 7th inning stretch, but you said no, that doesn't.
No, you guys are thinking outside the box. I liked it. I think you guys will like this next one. So the Minnesota Twins, like we talked about, they won a playoff game the night we're recording this podcast. Let's just do another round of applause. That was
Yep.
absolutely wonderful.
Unlimited rounds of applause.
Yes. However, the last time they won a playoff game was in 2004. So this topic is big events in 2004. Jake, Cam, Jack is the order.
Pretty good with 2004 history, as weird as that is to say.
All right. Did this big event have to do with a celebrity?
That's tough. I mean, the person is technically, I guess, we call them. They have celebrity status now, if that makes sense. But at the time, they didn't.
I know exactly what this is. but
Damn it!
I can't guess first.
No, you have the last guess actually, which really sucks.
I'm convinced I'm gonna get it though.
Does this have to do with politics?
It does not. You're gonna have to ask a question. There's no guess in the first round.
Was there a movie made about this?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay. 2004. I don't know. Moneyball situation.
It's not Moneyball.
Wasn't that like 19?
That was 2003,
Oh.
actually.
Okay, that's
So
a year
you're
before.
Oh, you were close.
Yeah, you was. That was actually a decent guess. Now that I think about it.
I'm just gonna go off on a wild guess because I know that Jack knows it. Is it like the beginning of Apple?
No,
Is this the invention of Facebook?
it's the invention of Facebook. Facebook launched
on the
in
right track.
2004.
I told you, I oddly know 2004 history.
Yeah, you were
So weird.
You had a right to be confident there, Jack. So right now I got the score. Cam has 2 points and Jack has 1 point. Jake is sitting there at 0. Okay, this next one
That
is
bear really scrambled your brains, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Went deep in there.
next order will be Cam, Jack, Jake, like the OG order was. TV show is going to be the topic, boys.
Yes, Cam's fucked.
I am fucked. What streaming platform is this currently on?
Netflix.
Ooh, is it a Netflix original?
I think so.
Oh,
How long has it been on Netflix?
2019 is when it started.
Is that I think you should leave?
Oh, yes, it is. I think
wanted to
you
guess
should
that, but I
leave.
couldn't guess.
yes.
Ding, ding. Wait, actually, you didn't say the name right. I think you should leave.
By Tim Robinson.
Oh.
Nope, not
Oh,
by.
no.
I think you should leave with Tim Robinson.
With them.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it.
okay,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna
I'm
say
fucking with you.
Wow.
No.
Baby, 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 baby.
I had a feeling that's what you were doing, but I can't guess.
Pretty
Okay,
pleased
so,
with sugar on top.
There is so Cam has 3 points. We do have 3 rounds remaining, so I guess technically Jake can win out and tie,
Oh.
or Jack can get 3 and win. Actually,
Oh.
So
so
the next one, if I get the next, I clinch.
Sure.
We'll see what happens here. We got Jack, Jake, Cam for the order,
Hashtag
and
keep Cam
the
winless.
topic is going to be famous cities. Starting with you, Jack.
Oh, is this famous city in America?
No.
Oh shit, I
I'm
might
fucked.
be fucked.
Damn it.
I'm not good
Damn
with
it.
world geography. I'm actually horrid with world geography.
Does this city have a wonder of the world?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's a really good question.
So I'm not gonna lie. I can't tell you about the wonders of the world. However,
Okay.
let me just say. I'll just say this. This is very historical overall.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's kind of what I was getting at.
What continent?
Europe.
Cool.
Europe. It's a city Rome.
Yes, it is Rome. I
The
chose
Ryder
Rome
Cup.
because of the
The
Ryder
Ryder
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah,
I
the
gotta make this.
Colosseum.
Gotta make it a little harder, don't I? Okay. Well, Jack, you're.
Topics are just a little too relevant.
Yes, it is. Yes. So technically, Jack, you're one away from Cam, so you can technically tie if you get one.
Fuck
of the
you,
next
Cam. Let's
two
go.
right, But
Pick anything but sports.
Go.
Jake can also play spoiler if you want to just fuck everyone else.
One
up.
tie,
You
all
can
Jake,
play
tie.
Jake, you're
spoiler.
playing for me.
Sure.
Right
This next topic is going to be the NFL. The order is going to be Jake, Cam, Jack.
Cam, I know ball too.
Okay. Is this a player?
Yes.
now. Perfect.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Is this player currently active?
Yes.
What conference is this player in? Or what
NFC.
league? Yeah.
I'm done with the cherry on top.
What are you saying?
You're insane.
From I think you should leave.
Oh yes, yes it is.
Is this what's his name? Matthew Stafford.
It's not. It's not. I love how you're guessing players
Guessed
already.
one
You
player
established
in
the
the NFC.
conference. You have
Calm
the
down.
players.
What college?
Yeah, Ohio State.
Is this player Justin Fields?
Jack just tied it up, baby.
Justin Fields in my head.
Jack just
Literally, I
tied
gave
it
it away.
up. It's first of all, Jake, dude. You gotta get it together.
Could have
here,
been.
man.
No, it couldn't have been
Done
C.J. Stroud.
this
He's
week.
AFC.
I won the last two.
I thought
so I'm
Jackson
done.
Smith and
Okay, well, so here's this is awesome. We're in round 7 here. If Jack or Cam gets it, they win the game. Jake can play spoiler and just have no one win it, and maybe I can reach in
Overtime.
do an overtime round
I
again.
I
but
blew a 3-1 lead.
you
You
did
did.
blow it.
You
You
did.
are Golden State right now, buddy.
Oh.
So here we go. We'll do state. I think it's Cam, Jack, and Jake.
State.
If you cut the country in half horizontally, is it north or south?
Is it above or below the
Okay,
Mason-Dixon?
Wait, what?
It's above the Mason-Dixon line. How about that?
So it's a yeah. It's
I don't
a
know
yank.
the term. You were gonna say it's a Yankee.
Which coast?
East.
Ooh. Wait, I
Disgusting
didn't guess yet.
snuffle.
Wait,
No,
did
this is round 1 still.
Yep. Okay. So I got
So
it.
you got to keep talking. You'll hear
Ask
my.
a
You'll hear my
question.
sounds.
Is
man.
this part of the 13 colonies?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me.
Google that shit?
Yes. Let's.
I am asking some good
Google
questions,
that.
but look what happens. I
Give
don't
me
win.
that. It's like give me that.
Give me that.
Google that.
I'm on
me that.
Wikipedia, boys. Let's see.
I hate going first.
Little bit with the cherry on top.
Baby, give me that love you've got.
It's not part of the 13 colonies.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But that surprises me, if I'm going to be honest. So. Oh, I think I know why it's not part of the 13. Now I know. It's because. Yeah.
Because
no,
it
don't
was
say why.
rebranded.
I am going to just throw everyone off. I'm not going to help anyone. I'm just going to guess a state,
Yeah.
and I'm going to guess New Hampshire.
It's not New Hampshire. That's a good guess.
I think you've already done Maine in the past. Can't be that. Let's go Rhode Island.
It's not Rhode Island.
Roadhouse. I don't think they were part. No, they were.
Is this? Oh wait. Is this West Virginia?
It's not West Virginia.
Is
No.
it
Virginia.
Richmond North or Richmond?
Is it Pennsylvania?
It's not Pennsylvania.
Fuck.
Is it North Carolina?
It's not North Carolina.
Is this Vermont?
It's not Vermont. No.
Is it New York?
It's not New York.
Oh my God, I'm gonna lose.
Is it New Jersey?
It's not New Jersey.
New Jersey. Shit, man. Dude, I'm fucked.
Dude, you became the GTA guy.
I did.
Shit.
Here we go again.
Oh, I think I got it.
It's raining outside.
Yeah, it's supposed to around
Thank God, it's too hot. I hope this just kills all the pollen so I can live again and
Okay.
breathe.
Is this
Dead air.
Kentucky?
It's not Kentucky. No.
That's not really
South.
east.
That's not East Coast.
Well, did you say East Coast or just east?
I said East Coast.
Oh,
yeah.
so
It's the first ever state. It's Delaware.
no.
No, 'cause it's not
That
part
would
of
have been a
30 colonies.
13 colony.
Cameron bitchy you.
I get
As he yawns into the mic. He's just giving up.
That was round 5, so you guys have guesses when we get the rapid fire.
Is it rapid fire right now?
No, you have
Oh,
2 more.
can't
You
be
guys each have to
Pennsylvania.
guess.
They were one of the originals.
That was already said too.
No, don't say. Don't.
Oh, sorry.
The spirit of Massachusetts. No, it's not Massachusetts. The original. God, I think my history teacher would want to fucking kill me right now if I can't name more than this many East Coast states. We've already guessed Vermont, New Hampshire. Let's do Maine again.
It is Maine.
Oh.
Ding, 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 ding. I didn't
Maine.
do Maine in the past.
didn't?
I did New Jersey, which was pretty close.
So I
but-
might have fucked that up
Yes.
for another trivia, I think.
Shit.
But when you said Maine, I was trying so hard
none of
not
us
to
were
give it
guessing
away.
Maine.
Hey, but congratulations, Jack takes the
strategy.
W. He's actually leading all the
Cam,
guys
you
here.
really fucked that one
Yeah,
up,
you
huh?
did, Cam.
He
Really fucked that one, eh?
that was Jack's 3rd win. Jack has 3. Cam was trying to get his number 1 win. He didn't get it. He has 0. So as of right now, it stands Jack is the boss of 15 questions, 3 wins. Jake has 2.
Oh,
Cam has 0. Cam's
leaving.
depressed. Oh
He's
gosh,
leaving.
our producer's leaving
He,
the podcast.
I
now.
think he probably would have won if he didn't give me Justin Fields.
Oh, yes. Well, dude, and dude, you had a 3-1 lead, Cameron.
He has no. You can just hear him crushing his bush light can. He looks sad.
He's just.
He's upset right now.
We love
I
you,
got
buddy.
no points.
You got
I was
0
shut
points,
out.
Yes.
Cam.
That was bad.
Can you just comment
Richmond-
how are you feeling right now, Cameron? He's getting another beer? Okay. Oh gosh.
It was funny because when Cam was asleep
mute.
during the Vikings game on Sunday, something big would happen, and I would just say Cam, and I would just stare at him as he's just like.
As he was asleep.
Cam.
Literally, I thought he was dead for a couple minutes there because I was cheering very loudly when we'd score a touchdown, and he was just chugging a bush light.
Hey, before Jack wraps up the pod, do you have any last words to say?
Press conference.
I'm done.
He's
quits.
done. It's
Cam,
over.
I got
It's
0
over.
points. It's okay.
Yeah, Jake got shut out.
Then again, I understand because you don't have a win yet on the board.
Jake,
so that's
yeah.
frustrating.
Oh,
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't
And you
say
know-
that.
It's not what the scoreboard says.
Cam,
We're
if
gonna
you're
have a
gonna
Frank the
talk
Tank
into
blow
a
up?
mic. This is a podcast.
Yeah, it's bad for radio.
What are we doing?
I feel like meat sauce. Like if you watch the initials, he's like the best fucking player on that game, and he went through a cold streak, and he broke chairs. I'm not breaking anything, so I think we're okay.
Not
You
yet.
can start clapping your hands and chewing on
I
your
think
shirt.
I
and
think
be
though
Frank the Tank.
you're a very top heavy player though. You have insanely good knowledge when it comes to certain topics. No, yeah, I mean it can
No,
be if
I
you want
actually
to be.
agree. If it's
he's
anything-
top heavy. He's the best at sports, but when it comes to anything else,
Yes.
you get burned.
You're right.
Yeah,
When it comes to
it's
sports,
true.
I'm going to say it's an 80% chance you win, but if it goes to TV, movies,
Cam,
fucked.
history, anything else, you're fucked.
If you truly want to win, maybe the next time you want to watch fucking Utah State versus UTEP, maybe just turn on Netflix.
Oh,
You
good.
know,
Throw on
indulge
the
your
history
or
channel.
Wagner
Yeah.
University versus Grambling
Hey,
State.
Wagner University.
Hey, that's a
great.
good Northeast Conference.
Okay, see,
Southwestern
but this is
Athletic
why you
Conference
keep
basketball
losing
game.
the game.
This is what we're talking about, though, Cameron.
That's fine. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Okay, and that's okay.
All right.
Can we do the next one? Can we do every topic is college basketball?
No, I'd rather kill myself than talk about college basketball.
I could actually
for
kind of
3
compete with that
hours.
if it's more
No, you
Gophers or Big Ten.
No, you
But if we're talking about like SWAC conference, no.
Jake, you have tried to compete with Cam and it didn't go well. I
Hey, did you
remember-
guys bring up the Al Nolan
I do
tidbit
remember
last
that.
week?
I wanted to die when you
talked
guys
about
were
it.
doing that.
Awesome. What did you think? Positive?
I'm super pumped.
I love it. I loved Al Nolan.
Yeah.
Cool. No one else cares. We're gonna cut off the
Yes. A lot
show.
of go for
that
hoops.
was another episode. Go for hoops. It might be coming.
I
That's
don't wanna
that's
talk
an
about
that's an inside joke. All right, that's been another episode of It's a Bit, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to go to our website 10ktakesmn.com to read all of our awesome blogs. Also, make sure to go to Cam. I'm doing the outro. Would you stop singing? Also, make sure to go to the Listen tab. Listen to all the awesome shows. Live in 5, which was formerly known as the Has-Beens. They just had Jordan Bennington on, which is fucking awesome. Yeah, boo. Wild Takes is back. Status Goal. AJ's killing it. So we got all sorts of awesome stuff happening here in the little 10K ecosystem. And make sure to use our promo code 10K at Better Edge and Underdog to legally sports gamble in the state of Minnesota. But thank you so much for listening to another episode of It's a Bit presented by 10,000 Takes. We'll see you next week.